High snap, play action, Nichols underneath, caught, gets away from one tackler, gets away from two tacklers, down the sidelines, one man to beat, stutter step, getting away to the end zone, number 8, Dylan Talley, touchdown, Bowie.
Robertson in motion, Craven's back to pass, goes across the middle, Ghostin holds it in, he's gonna go to the touchdown, to the house, Cravens to Ghostin, Colt, touchdown!
As a tight end, pulls a guard, Barrett finds the hole, follows the pulling guard, cuts outside, bounces outside to the 20, 10, 15, 5, touchdown, Bowers, touchdown, Bowie!
Out of the stretch. Sky towards left center field. The wind is carrying it. Is it gone? It is! Jackson Irons with a 2-run shot over the left center field fence. He'll plate Wharton, and it's 6-4. There's still an insurance run that is about to get driven in on this base hit. Flores delivers the insurance run. Burkle out of position. They've got to pass, and they've got to go! Patomeco with the pass. Mirario has a bit of a look. Shot on goal, and he gets it in! Two tight end set here as we go to the left-hand side with B.J. Rogers. Rogers is into the second level. B.J. Rogers to midfield. One man trying to catch up to him, but he will not. Number 6 in for 6. That will do it.
This broadcast is under intellectual property and may not be repurposed or reproduced without express written consent. Enjoy this presentation from Zach Arnold Productions, Energetic Media Solutions.
A potential series-clinching ball game is moments away from getting underway. Making the trip all the way to Richardson, Texas, it's playoff high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982. The pregame show presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is coming up right after this. Don't go away. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
High atop what they have dubbed the nest here at Richardson High. Alongside my partner tonight, Tim Costello, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you what could potentially be Arlington's second area round appearance in the last 3 years. But to do so, they've got to get through the home team in the form of the Richardson Eagles. We had a lot of rain going on throughout the Metroplex here this afternoon, but right now all we've got is clouds and a bit of a breeze. And luckily, Tim, this particular ballpark is on turf, so we don't have to worry about this ballpark or this game getting washed out from the events of the weather earlier today.
Yeah, when I reached out to you this afternoon, I said, hey, is there a contingency plan? And you said, turf field, we don't need a contingency plan.
We're good.
Yeah, as long as it's not raining during the game, you are good to play. And that's one of the fantastic aspects of technology in this game that you've got to love. But you're right, this is a big game, a chance to put your team into the next round if you're Danny Bustamante, the ace of this ball club, and a chance to chase a high school ring, right? A lot of these guys are seniors. This is an older ball club for the Arlington Colts. They've been building towards this moment. You mentioned off air when we were talking, this is the first time in a while they haven't run into Jesuit in the first round. And thanks to the way that things are realigned, you've got an opportunity to make a run. And this is an Arlington ball club that fields it well. And at the end of the day, at this level, Zach, if you play good defense, you're going to give yourself a chance to win, because there are more and more and more young ball players that don't focus on the defensive side of things. They work in the cage and they work on the swing, but when you go watch some of these games like you and I have, the errors are astounding. And you saw that last night. What was essentially a pretty close ball game got out of hand really quickly because of the lack of defense.
Yes, indeed. It was a 5-3 Arlington advantage at one point in that game over at Grand Prairie High School that Pops and Pat were on the call for. And then seemingly out of the blue, Arlington poured it on, and it turned into a 19-3 finish in 5 innings. I spoke to Coach Womack during the pregame. He confirmed to me what Pops was writing down on his score sheet. 7 defensive errors committed by the Richardson defense, including 4 at the shortstop position. 7 walks issued, and a total of 3 runs that were scored just on wild pitches alone. So when the fundamentals break down, sometimes they break down heavily. He also confirmed to me during our pregame chat that he does not expect a similar result tonight. He says they are better than that. They know they are better than that. We know that they're better than that, and we need to plan accordingly.
Absolutely. You can't ever expect a team to make 7 errors. But what you can do, Zach, is you can put pressure on a defense. You can put the ball in play, and you can force the other team to get you out by making the play. And I think, I did a lot of games for Bowie this year, just the way the schedule's lined up, right? But one of the things that the manager for Bowie was so frustrated about was the amount of times that his players went down looking.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you put the ball in play, you're giving yourself at least an opportunity to beat something out, to force an error, to, just tax the infield a little bit more as opposed to watching pitches go by.
Absolutely.
So for the Colts, while you can't expect that kind of defensive performance again, what you can do is, like I said, put pressure on the defense, run everything out, hustle down the line. Don't strike out looking, put the ball in play, and go out there and play good defense on your own right, so that way the Eagles feel that pressure as well, that they have to play that perfect game. This is a mental game, right? This is like every other sport, it is mental. And I think the Eagles kind of showed that last night when the pressure of the playoffs gets to a team, right? This is a fairly young ball club. So a lot of them may not have that playoff experience like the Colts do. Like you said, they've been here the last 3 years. If you're a varsity senior on this Colts roster, you've never seen a season where you didn't make the playoffs. So you understand what this element is all about versus some younger players who may not have. They got their first taste. I think tonight's going to be a different situation. It's going to be a tighter, tougher ball game. But also, hey, I'm glad you got your taste of playoffs, but here's Danny Bustamante. Take a taste of that, Zach. He's been fantastic this year.
He has indeed. He is what Coach Womack has dubbed as the ace of the squad this year. 62.2 innings pitched, 8 wins on the season, only 21 total runs allowed. Team leading 72 strikeouts, 25 of those looking, all of those team leading stats. And he's got the opportunity to come out and do something that really hasn't been done on the Arlington pitching mound in quite some time. I believe his last 6 starts have been complete game shutouts. And that includes a perfect game that was thrown against Haltom and a no-hitter that was also thrown during that duration. So if there was ever a young man that you would want on the mound, it's the junior, number 4.
Yeah, Zach, this is a guy who, did maybe struggle a little bit in the preseason tournaments. But once we hit district play, this young man found his rhythm, and I would be very, very surprised if he's not the district's pitcher of the year, just based on what he put together in the district regular season. This guy was your Friday night starter, right? You called him the ace, you called him whatever you want to call him. Anybody else on this roster that you feel more comfortable with a chance to go to the next round? with a ball in their hand to pitch you there? And I think the answer to that is a defined no. This is the guy that you want in this situation.
He is definitely the guy, and that guy will be a force to be reckoned with. And to top it off, he's also going to be the fellow leading things off for the Arlington lineup. We'll show you the lineup graphic in just a moment here, but Bustamante also has a 370 average at the plate and a team leading 34 hits. So I don't want to put too much pressure on the young man, but it seems to be lately that the way he goes, so too does Arlington. And that's the kind of player you want to be at the top of your lineup and on top of the pitcher's mound in a game that could move you on to the next round of the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's guys in every sport that are the heart and soul of your team, whether it's your quarterback in football or your best player on the court in basketball. But in high school baseball, where typically your best athlete is going to be your best hitter and he's going to pitch at some point, those guys have an opportunity to move the needle more than some others. And look, this guy's going to be a D1 player. I think you and I both.
I think so.
Both agree.
He's only a junior. He's only going to get stronger.
Exactly. And this is, we get another year of watching this, but
we do.
He's soaked it all in this year. I think he's ready for the moment. Arlington gets to hit first, and the wind is howling out today. We haven't even mentioned that. You hear that wind blowing through the booth here. It's going out to left center field. So
it is.
When you've got a guy but also, Zach, a strikeout guy like Bustamante is, that's going to help keep the ball in the ballpark. Well, if your team can continue to make contact, continue to put pressure on the defense, opportunity for the Colts.
Yeah, you were talking about the wind carrying the ball. There are several young men on the Arlington lineup who have triples, who have home runs, a total of 10 team triples, a total of 7 team home runs. London Prater is tied for the lead in triples with Gannon Howard and is the team leader in home runs. So there are other players in this lineup as they are being introduced here at Richardson High. There are other players that have the pop and the potential to make some noise depending on what kind of contact they're able to make and what part of the field they're able to send it to.
My first game of the season with for Zap with baseball this year was the day that huge dust storm where the wind was just crazy all over Dallas in early March. And that day out at the Colts home field, the wind was blowing in 30 miles an hour. And Mason Hensley hit 2 balls off the wall in right field that day that easily would have been home runs, adding to his total. One was an out, one was off the wall. But either way, this guy's got some pop too. A big-time bat from the left side of the box. There's some pop in this Arlington lineup. And when the wind is blowing like it is today, I'm a golfer. Tee it high and let it fly.
Why not? Arlington's lineup has been introduced, which means we'll be getting the Richardson defense momentarily. National anthem is just around the bend. We will turn up our crowd mic for that so that you can experience that as well. I seem to have misplaced, here they are, my scripted notes so that I can remind you all that the pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. They're a family-owned business with a team of professionals who have served the Arlington area for over 50 years. Don't let insurance be a headache. Chapman Cornelius can help you create a custom insurance plan tailored to your small business's needs and budget. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346 or go to www.chapman-cornelius.com. Go ahead and copy that link, baseball fans. Send it to your social media. Send it to your group chat. Because of certain UIL playoff restrictions, we are obligated to bring you a radio-style broadcast here this evening, but that is something that Zap is very familiar with. And, Tim, it's something you're familiar with as well, having done radio-style play-by-play before you ended up here on the Zap Network.
Oh, absolutely. I love a good radio broadcast. Sometimes people tend to rely on the video as a crutch, right? There's nothing like being able to paint that word picture for our viewers who can't, or listeners who can't make it. And at the end of the day, this is playoff baseball, Zach. Every single one of these kids for Arlington and for Richardson, too, they got relatives out there who are unable to make it but are unbelievably proud of their grandson or nephew or niece and want to support them. So I'm so thankful that you provide that service to everybody out there, and I'm sure they're appreciative of what you do as well. And thankful to our sponsors that allow us to be able to do that for everyone out there.
Absolutely. Chapman Cornelius, Romy Pools, PDA Advocacy, Taqueria Taco Express, Eka Signs, John Wade Roofing, and so many more. We've got a few of them listed here on the static feed, but we get some amazing people that help make this possible. The national anthem is about to be played here at the Nest. We'll turn up the crowd mic, and then after that, it's first pitch and baseball time in Texas. Thanks so much for tuning in to the pregame show. We will be right back. Live on YouTube, it is the by-district round between the Colts and the Eagles. Arlington will be the visitors, obviously, so let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Colts here in tonight's by-district game. As we mentioned during the pregame show, leading off and pitching, it's the junior, Danny Bustamante, batting second at shortstop, Mason Hensley. Batting third in right field, London Prater. The cleanup hitter is Matthew Wynn, playing first base. He'll be followed by the third baseman, Abe Alvarado. Axel Alvarado will be playing left field, and Jeremiah Taylor, the catcher, will bat seventh. Gannon Howard is in center, and Hayden White rounds out the order for Arlington. Defensively for the Eagles, Attell is at first, Max Hayes is at second, Jake Hayes, his twin, is at third. Neiman's in short. Sully Hale is being DH for and playing left field. Barrasa's in center. Abs is in right. Cole Cage gets the start behind the plate, and on the mound, it's Barrett Herr, number 5 for the Eagles.
Big opportunity for her, trying to keep the Eagles' season alive. Also the Friday night starter for Richardson, so it's going to be ace on ace here tonight as both teams have some big aspirations. For the Colts, it's moving on to the next round of the playoffs, and for the Richardson Eagles, it's just simply staying alive and continuing to play together as a ball club. Because as you know, Zach, seniors leave, this team will never be the same as it was. There's going to be remnants next year for both of these teams of guys who played on the 2025 team, but you will never have this full locker room again. So you want to savor every moment. You want to play together as often as you can. You want to keep this train moving.
Speaking of full, when we're talking about locker rooms, we can also mention that about the stands here as they continue to fill in. We've got people with lawn chairs that are right in front of the backstop, and I would say about 80 to 90% of the grandstands are also occupied by Arlington faithful that made the trip up by the Richardson faithful, hoping to see if a Game 3 can be forced. And luckily, here at Richardson, we've also got a radar gun, so we'll be able to see exactly how fast these young men are delivering over the course of this ball game.
It's a beautiful area. I'm a big fan of the Richardson area. I know we're Arlington broadcasters, but very similar to part of town I live in, that nice 1980s architecture. First pitch of the ball game, and we are underway. A 92-mile-an-hour heater up and at the letters, swung and missed for strike one. Bustamante looking to make this a 1-0 lead early with that hack.
That was a big swing.
Mentioned the 370 batting average on the year as he lines this one softly to short, put away for out number 1. 2 pitches, 1 out to start the game.
Yeah, that was a looper that if the wind had gotten underneath it could have gone into the outfield, but instead we'll just call it an F4 for those of you that are keeping track at home.
Hensley at the dish, 278 on the season, has a home run. Drove in 12 runs. Hitting from the left side of the plate, takes this pitch up and away for ball 1. Arlington tonight in their all-black uniforms, a little bit of green piping, green letters, green belt. Richardson in their home whites. The 1-0, high, no, does catch the top of the zone for a strike, 1-1. Purple hats, purple letters with gold piping around it. The 1-1 offering from her, just a bit outside, 2-1 the count.
Yeah, Hensley is the only switch hitter in this lineup, taking up position in the left-handed batter's box to face the right-handed thrower.
Playing shortstop tonight, but also does some work out of the pen on the mound as well. That one misses high. Hensley can bring it pretty hard himself. Hits the low 90s on the gun when we saw him early in the season.
More impressively, a 0 ERA when he comes in relief.
3-1 pitch on the inside corner with a heater, 3-2.
The Hensley family is tuning in from the Coppell softball complex because his sister Sage is playing in the playoffs for the Colts softball team.
3-2 pitch fouled right back into the screen.
Last update I heard, the underdog Arlington Colts softball team was tied 0-0 with Flower Mound Marcus. Good luck to the Colts softball team.
It's that playoff season. Here's the payoff pitch. Called strike 3. Backdoor slider got him looking. That was a crafty pitch from her.
Good placement to get out number 2. And that'll take us to London Prater.
Prater, the right fielder, handshakes around as he steps to the disc for the first time. 346 the average for the righty. Has a couple homers on the season. Drove in 21 runs to lead the ball club this season. First pitch, a breaking ball. Didn't come out of the hand right. Nearly hit London before he dove out of there. Zach, are you a playoff beard guy?
I'm just a beard guy.
1-0, swing and a miss. I'm with you on that. That's how I used to get away with not shaving in high school during the Astros playoff season. I say, Mom, the Astros in the playoffs, I can't shave. Craig Biggio's not even shaving right now. Her working from the far left side of the rubber, misses with a fastball on 1-1. Wind is quieted just a touch as the Colts came to the plate. 2 outs, nobody on. Scoreless ball game, top of the first inning in Richardson, Texas. 2-1, a slider gets the top of the zone. Looks like the high strike might be in play tonight for our pitchers.
That seems to be the indicator, and maybe a bit of a wide strike zone, too. That one looked inside from this vantage point.
Payoff pitch, fouled back. And I'm sorry, 2-2 pitch was fouled back. You know, Zach, some of these houses are pretty close to the
we're in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Dogwood Street is right behind the ballpark, and there's a row of houses just on the other side. I can't imagine what this place must be like on Friday nights because the football stadium's just outside right field.
2-2 pitch in the dirt for a ball, 3-2. That's a fair point. The noise was certainly something I thought of, but do you think any of these people get lit up with foul balls?
It wouldn't surprise me.
It's a bit of a it's not a close thing, but there's got to be some that get hit. Sun is out after a rainy day, though. Beautiful backdrop for baseball. Here's a payoff pitch. Hit on the ground towards short. That's going to be a tough play. Fielded, bobbled, throw to first, not in time. That's going to be an infield single.
Yeah, I was going to confirm that. He hit it away from Neiman towards shallow left field. And by the time he was able to corral it and fire it, Prater was a step or two away from first base. Good job charging up that baseline there.
Again, that's what we talked about early in the early in the pregame show, was putting the ball in play. Put some pressure on this defense to make the play as opposed to going down looking. That would have been an incredible play. I understand there's a little bobble there, but even without the bobble, fielding it cleanly, I think the only way you get him is the classic Derek Jeter jump throw. His momentum was carrying him.
It was taking him the opposite direction.
Yeah, and so he tried to round the baseball, which is what they teach you, but sometimes you just got to go with the instinctual jump throw, Zach. First pitch just a bit high for ball one to Matt Wynn, the first baseman. So far this season for Mr. Wynn, 268 the average. Does have a homer, 18 RBIs.
Next pitch low and inside for ball two. Had a big home run in the 7-6 win against South Grand Prairie on Saturday. That gave Arlington the district championship.
There's the 2-0 to win. This one hit on a line into center field. That's down for a base hit. And very quickly the Colts have themselves a 2-out rally.
Another clean base hit, just a good pure swing that went in front of the center fielder, Baressa, and all he could do was play it on the short hop. I don't think I would want to get turf burn trying to dive for something like that. So smart play by Baressa there.
Especially early in the game. This is a pretty big center field. If that one gets by you, it's at least one run scoring, if not more.
285 to the corners here at the Nest, 360 and 325 to the left and right coffin corners. No numbers for straightaway center.
First pitch misses low for ball one. 285 down the line is tasty, especially with the way the wind was carrying earlier. Alvarado looked like he wants to take advantage of that short porch as he takes that pitch low and in the dirt for a ball. Alvarado was a 321 hitter this season, slugged 464. He had a home run and 17 RBIs, a few doubles and a triple as well. 2-0 hit on the ground towards third, fielded cleanly. The throw across the diamond is low, but handled well for out number 3. The Colts put a couple 2-out base runners on, but unable to push them back into the stable. We head to the bottom of the first inning, scoreless from Richardson, Texas. You're listening to Baseball on the Zap Network, brought to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie. And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Bottom of the first inning, scoreless ball game here on the Zap Network. This Arlington Colts high school playoff baseball game brought to you by John Wade Roofing. Zach, let's set the defense for your Arlington Colts.
Yeah, the defensive alignment we've talked about who's going to be on the mound, but let's take a look around the rest of the horn. At first base, it's Matthew Wynn, number 25, number 24, Hayden White's at second, AB as they call him, Abe Alvarado's at third. Mason Hensley's the shortstop. Axel Alvarado gets the start in left. Gannon Howard locking down center field as he has all season. And London Prater getting the start out in right. The 2-time District Defensive Player of the Year is behind the plate in the form of number 23, Jeremiah Taylor. And coming to the mound with a season record of 8 wins and 2 losses and an ERA of 1.78. It's the junior number 4, Danny Bustamante.
Jeremiah Taylor is the guy to me who stands out more than anybody else, defensively especially, for this Arlington Colts ball club. This is a guy who I think is a D1 catcher. This is a guy who makes every pitcher on this ball club better.
He does.
Handles his pitching staff so well. I love watching this guy receive. He is absolutely fantastic behind the plate. As someone who played catcher growing up, this guy is as fundamentally sound as it comes.
Ozzy Abs leading things off with some Ozzy Osbourne.
Kind of have to if you're
You
named
have
Ozzy,
to,
right?
as he looks at strike one from Bustamante.
Nice 88-mile-an-hour heater on the corner. Abs hits with an open stance from the right side. Chops this one foul off his back foot. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, he doesn't have that protective plating at his ankle, so that one went off the bone.
Abs. Black and yellow bat pumping behind his purple helmet.
Very on brand.
Here's the 0-2 delivery from Bustamante. Fouled back and out of play. I think when you look at Bustamante's season, that's where you can really get an idea of just how good Taylor is for his starting pitchers, especially the way he guided him through district play. Taylor, an older player, knows what these hitters tend to do. Here's the 0-2, just a bit high. But you take a guy who's only a junior in Bustamante and guide him through, 6 straight scoreless complete games.
Yeah.
That takes some prep work as a catcher. Here's the 1-2, chopped towards short. That's going to be a tough play. Fields throws to first in time for out number 1. That was a quick get it in and get it out of the glove for Hayden White.
Yeah, White had to play it on the hop because it was a chopper to him at second base. It was something that wasn't going to take him necessarily out of position, but if he fields it on the wrong hop, it goes off of his chest. So he made a clean catch, made sure to set his feet, and then got a dart over to win for the first out.
Here's Aiden Barraza, the center fielder, takes a look at a heater on the outside corner for a called strike. Barraza hits with a closed stance from the right side. Oh, just a bit low. Bustamante sitting in the high 80s, 87, 88 with that fastball. And comes in about 77 with the slider when he goes to it. Here's the 1-1. Another heater at the knees for a called strike, 1-2.
Catcher Cole Cage, number 9, taking swings in the on-deck circle for the Eagles.
Barraza takes this slider off the plate for a ball. Eagles have to feel good keeping the Colts off the board in the first inning after a late 2-out rally. Here's a 2-2 offering, chopped back to Bustamante. Calm, cool, and collected. He fields and throws to first nonchalantly for out number 1. That one looked pretty nifty, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was another one of those choppers, which is not exactly what Bustamante is traditionally known for. He's more of a strikeout pitcher, but these first 2 outs, he's been pitching to contact, and they've been slow, easy to field choppers that haven't left the infield, and it's quickly 2 up, 2 down.
Just a sign of his stuff is even when you're able to make contact, it's weak. Big swing and a miss on a slider for strike 1. Cole Cage, as you mentioned, the catcher, hits from the left side.
The light side versus the dark side?
Exactly. 0-1 is on the outside corner for a strike. Although, based on American history, there was a time where we thought lefties were definitely on the dark side.
Yeah, Pops would not be very happy to hear that.
There's the 0-2. Oh. I don't know about that one, Zach.
Collective groan from the third base stands full of people in green and black.
I go with a back foot slider here, and they do. Oh, it doesn't get him. Peel down to third base. No, he did not go around. I love the way they set that up. Bustamante went to the fastball in the outside corner, didn't get the call. Then he went to a back foot slider off of that outside fastball. That's a beautiful pitch sequence there from Taylor that he called.
Well, and his repertoire is so extensive that you can make calls like that.
There's a 2-2. They go back outside with the fastball, grounded up the first base side. Taking it himself and putting it away for out number 3 is Wynn. 3 up, 3 down. And in the bottom of the first inning, we go on to the second on the Zap Network. This Arlington Colts playoff baseball game brought to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this.
Page's Pretty Roots is a Texas-based small business where you can discover handcrafted treasures designed to nurture your body and soul. From custom t-shirts that showcase your unique style to nourishing sugar scrubs and moisturizers made with love. Whether you're looking for a fun fashion statement or all-natural self-care, you'll find something special here. Shop now and experience the magic of handmade by scanning the QR code or searching Page's Pretty Roots on Etsy.com.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
Top of the second inning here on the Zap Network. Scoreless ball game from Richardson, Texas. Game 2 of a 3-game set for the Texas high school playoffs. Arlington leading this series 1-0 after a 19-3 victory last night. It'll be Axel Alvarado, Jeremiah Taylor, and Gannon Howard looking to break through in this Eagles, in the Eagles nest. Did I get that right, Zach? The Eagles nest?
They call it a bunch of different things. It's the Eagles nest, the nest, whatever you want to call it.
I almost said crow's nest, but there's no crows here.
There
so that
are no
wrong.
crows, and there's no upstairs to the press box. We're actually just outside of it to the left, but we've got about 3 rows of bleachers to ourselves. We were able to pitch our tent just in case some rain comes back. We don't want any of our expensive equipment damaged, but we've got a really good view of the ballpark from this vantage point. We're about 15 rows back in the grandstands, and we get to see Axel Alvarado dig into that lefty batter's box to start the top of the second.
Alvarado hitting from the left side, slightly open stance, pumps his blue bat up and down behind his black helmet, takes a look at an 89-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner for a called strike. Axel hit .204 this season. 1 double of his 10 hits. Did drive in 7 runs, as that one missed for a ball, 1-1.
Axel has seen time on the mound. He's seen time in left field. He is the number 2 catcher behind Jeremiah Taylor. Very versatile young man.
Fastball gets the call in the outside corner. Axel disagrees with it.
He's not the only one.
That was the same pitch that Bustamante did not get in the bottom of the inning. Breaking ball misses away. Wind picking back up just a touch. I think it's just going to be a swirling kind of evening tonight, Zach.
Yeah, you had to run out and go get an extra layer. I've got an extra layer of socks on because that's where my warmth is found.
2-2 misses outside for a ball. One of the nice things about being a golfer is I've always got a collection of pullovers in the back of my car. I had 2 puffer vests. I had 3 quarter zips. I had choices, thinner, a little bit thicker. Payoff pitch misses, low and away. Interesting move there from the catcher to hold it. Cole Cage just a little bit longer trying to get that call, but does not get the benefit of the doubt. That brings up Jeremiah Taylor. Again, we mentioned this is the man who powers the pitching machine for the Arlington Colts. He's a .274 hitter.
When he hits it to the gap. He's got a lot of pop when he gets the right placement. We'll see if he tries to go for the fence or if he tries to lay down the bunt.
Shows bunt, instead takes low for ball 1.
He's one of the fastest players on this team. Coach Womack told me at one point during the season if he wasn't the catcher, he'd be competing for the center field spot because of how much range he's got.
And one of the trends in high school baseball has been you get that leadoff man on, go ahead and get him over. Go ahead and put the bunt down and give yourself a couple of opportunities. We mentioned, number 1, it puts pressure on the defense to make the play on the bunt. But number 2, every inning, if you can do it, you've got chances to score. 1-0 does not show bunt, instead takes it inside very quickly in a favorable count for Taylor, 2-0.
Yeah, in between that, Herr tried to send it over to Attell at first, and Axel was back in plenty of time.
Healthy lead at first base for Axel Alvarado. The 2-0 was a fastball on the outside corner for a called strike, 2-1. See if the bunt call is back on now that it's a 2-1 count. It is. Showing early. Gets it down. That's a great bunt up the first base side. Pitch to first base from her is in time, but a fantastic sacrifice for Jeremiah Taylor.
And what concentration that he had to do there, because that pitch was inside and he had to duck his head away, but he was still able to make the contact that went dribbling up the first baseline, and Barrett Herr's only play was over to first base.
Gannon Howard, the center fielder, will take his hacks, but not before Jeremiah Taylor had just something to say, pulled him aside before he got in there. Howard crowds the plate, and he hits this one to left field, playable. Settling under it and putting it away for the out is the left fielder, Sully Hale. Looked good off the bat, but just died. Had a little bit of topspin on that one.
Yeah, the wind didn't carry it far enough, and it stayed in the air long enough for Sully Hale, Hully Sale, Chris Sale's distant cousin. Sully Hale makes the catch for the F7 and out number 2.
Well, that will bring up Hayden White. He hits this one into the air in right field. That is going to be actually center field by the time the wind gets done moving it around. But Barraza puts it away for out number 3. So a leadoff base runner, but unable to do much after the sacrifice. On to the bottom of the second inning we go. Scoreless in Richardson. You're listening to Arlington Colts Baseball on the Zap Network. We'll be right back after this.
Hey Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Bottom of the second inning in Richardson, Texas. Scoreless ball game. Bustamante will face Herr and the Hayes brothers, as you said, Zach. And that kind of sounds like someone you'd see at like a piano lounge doing a little light tickling of the ivories while you enjoy a cocktail or two.
Come listen to the Hayes brothers.
Herr and the Hayes brothers.
Herr and the Hayes brothers.
Hey, if this whole baseball thing doesn't work out, guys, you should start a band. Herr has worked 2 scoreless innings on the mound, looking to help himself just a touch in the batter's box. Well, hit from the left side, even though he throws from the right. Close stance from the left side. First pitch from Bustamante. In there with a, no, does not get the call actually. Slider missed low. That looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Here's the 1-0 offering from Bustamante. That one on the outside corner with a heater does get the call. Zach, you can see both these pitchers were just a little bit amped up in that first inning as a couple miles per hour velo comes off. Pitch misses outside for a ball.
Yeah, this could come down to a matter of stamina. But Bustamante, as we've mentioned several times already, he's gone the distance a lot during district competition.
2-1 pitch fouled back into the screen, 2-2. as it often does at this level, it goes down to who's got the most quality arms. Because there's 3 games to cover. You've got potentially 21 innings that you need to cover. Okay, let's put Bustamante down for 6 to 7 of those innings as the 2-2 swing and a miss. First strikeout of the game for Busta, as you like to call him. But no, you've got 21 innings to cover. Bustamante can cover 7 of them for you. Where are those other 14 coming from? And for the Eagles, the same question was asked, right? You've got her covering 7 of your innings. Who's going to cover the rest? And if her can't cover all 7 tonight, do you have enough arms to keep this Colts lineup down? Swing and a foul ball off the leg for Max Hayes, the second baseman, not to be confused with Jake Hayes, the third baseman.
Twin brothers, as Pops found out during last night's broadcast. And then a couple of just brothers in the form of Cole Cage and Kason Cage, also starters tonight.
The 0-1 pitch, fantastic breaking ball from Bustamante, snaps in for a strike, 2-2. I'm sorry, nothing in 2. Here's the 0-2. Fouled back and out of play. Scoreless game, bottom of the second inning in Richardson, Texas. Colts hold a 1-0 lead in the series. Bustamante brings a 0-2 offering. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Strike 3. They call that a sword on the pitching ninja on the old Twitter machine. That was filthy.
He tried to lay off of it, but by then the damage was done. Made it all the way around, and it's 2 up, 2 down with a couple of Ks for Bustamante.
That brings up Jake Hayes. Jake's the third baseman tonight. Close stance from the right side. Holds his bat pretty steady behind the helmet. First pitch is a fastball, just a bit low. Bustamante sitting in the mid-80s now, about 85, 86 miles an hour after touching 89 in the first inning of that playoff start. That you feel that adrenaline pumping. Here's the 1-0, fouled off the leg of the third baseman for a strike, 1-1.
Not sure why Van Halen's jump would play during that interim. Nobody was jumping.
Jump up and down after you hit one off yourself. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. Bustamante led this team in innings worked. He worked in 11 different ball games to tie for the lead. Started 10 of them. Hensley also worked 11, but all of which were out of the pen. 8 wins on the season also to lead the ball club as the 2-1 is swung on and missed for a strike. Also led the team with 72 punch-outs across his 62 innings. Unbelievable stuff. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Ball gets away. No, it did. Swing and a miss. Throw to first to complete for out number 3. Bustamante strikes out the side for the Colts. Top of the third inning on the way on the Zap Network from Richardson, Texas. This is Arlington Colts baseball. We'll be right back after this.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Romy Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Romy Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
PDA Advocacy Group would like to remind you that autism is a wide spectrum of neurological differences and it's on the rise, now affecting 1 in 36 Americans and more cases found in males. Those with autism have trouble with social interactions, communication, and can engage in repetitive or self-harming behaviors. While the causes of autism are still being researched, we can begin to learn more by visiting nationalautismassociation.org. Top of the third inning means that it's time to let you all know that the third inning is presented by our friends at Ika Signs. Located in the heart of Arlington, they offer same-day production on certain rush orders and can offer a wide catalog of custom print materials. Call 817-617-2229 to find out how Ika Signs can help your brand's visibility.
Speaking of visibility, we're going to see the top of this Colts lineup for the first time, and they had some good visibility into how Herr wanted to attack them their first time through. Hensley worked a full count. Bustamante put contact on the baseball, a couple singles, and then a hard hit ground ball. I think the Colts are salivating right now for an opportunity to face Herr again and put some runs on the board. Wind's picking up a little bit for Bustamante as he steps in. Crowds the plate from the right side with that slightly open stance. Herr continues to work for the stretch. And this one hit hard on the ground and through for a base hit. Bustamante on board to get things going in the first. I'm sorry, to get things going in the third.
First pitch swinging.
Yes.
Saw something that he liked and turned on it between Neiman at short and Jake Hayes at third. Sharply hit ball where neither one of them could dive to grab it in time.
We're going to get a courtesy runner as Bustamante doesn't need to tire the legs.
Should be number 6, Colin Murphy, coming in. Traditionally the pitcher's courtesy runner.
These uniforms are a little tough to see the numbering on when you got that dark green on the dark black uniform. I'd love a little white piping around the numbers, Zach, if you could maybe make a mention to that when they design them next year.
That is number 6, so Murphy running at first.
This pitch high for ball one as Hensley watches it go by. Nearly got away. We'll see if the Colts put a runner in motion or if they let Hensley swing away. Great opportunity to put a little hit and run, in my opinion. This one hit high down the left side when playing with it. Sailing under and putting it away for out number 1 is Sully Hale.
Yeah, Hale came towards the left field line and then backpedaled a little bit as the wind picked up underneath that one. Didn't get past him, though, as he collects out number 1.
May have overran it a touch initially, but did a great job of correcting the route and putting it away. That's a scary moment when you look up and the ball's a little bit further back than you ran to.
It's about to go past you, yeah.
That brings up London Prater. He had a hard hit single in the first inning. Big swing and a miss, chased a breaking ball. Throw down to first, not in time. Diving back safely is the pinch runner.
Yeah, that's a pretty good attempt there by the catcher, Cole Cage. Murphy got a couple of steps beyond his comfort zone and wanted to let him know that he saw him doing it.
London slugged .615 this season. There's this one on the outside corner for a call strike. He's the thunder in the middle of this lineup for the Colts. Bustamante sets the table. London clears it. Here's the 0-2. That one gets by the catcher. Heading to second base. The throw is actually making it closer than it should have been. But diving in safely on the wild pitch. That was, I think a little bit of a lack of hustle that made that closer. It looked like it was going to be by him, kind of a leisurely jog down. Next thing you know, the throw goes down.
It's a very short backstop here at Richardson, maybe 6 or 7 feet behind the umpire in that home plate circle. I would dare say it's even shorter than what the backstop at Arlington High is, and that's the shortest one in District 8-6A.
Interesting situation now as the third base umpire asking the crew chief to come down, have a conversation with Coach Womack.
Arlington is historically known for having a very active dugout that likes to get in the head of the pitcher when it's legal. You're not allowed to make noises when the pitcher is in his motion, but you're allowed to say things in between pitches. Sounds like
he told him to chill it out.
There's some clarification about maybe the content of the message, perhaps, in order to make sure that it's geared towards being encouraging of your teammate rather than disparaging of your opponent. That would be my best guess.
To me, that's a great excuse to learn like French or something. As a team exercise, we're all going to learn French, and we can just say whatever we want. 1-2, the count to London Prater. It'd be a team-building exercise. Hey, guys, do we all do our French homework?
Finish your Duolingo, fellas.
We're gonna have a team Duolingo sleepover. Everybody bring your Chromebooks. 1-2, swing and a miss. Big cut from Prater, comes up empty. Second strikeout of the night for her. That brings up Matt Wynn, the first baseman. He singled on a hard hit line drive to center field in the first inning. RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Runner on second base. Scoreless game, top of the third inning.
Big gap along shortstop. They are really, really shifting towards that third base position.
This one outside for a ball. You're right there. Expecting Wynn to try and pull something through. 2 base hits to that left side already. But if you can hit something back up the middle, you're going to score a run. This one in the dirt, gets away. Heading to third base for the Colts is the pinch runner.
Colin Murphy now 90 feet away on a 2-0 count with 2 outs for Matthew Wynn.
You mentioned wild pitches and pass balls were a problem yesterday, Zach. They've now moved a leadoff single 180 feet to third base. Here's a 2-0 that is low and in the dirt for a ball, 3-0. Abraham Alvarado waiting on deck. You know, he'd love another crack with 2 aboard as he grounded out his first time up. 3-0 way outside, gets away, but getting to it quickly is Cage to keep the runner at third. So now a 2-out walk brings Alvarado to the dish with runners on first and third. You've got to be really sure on a pass ball, a wild pitch, if you're going to take off from third base in this ballpark.
Yeah, you have to look out for the carom and see if it can get away from the catcher, because if it goes straight back, it comes right back to him, and that's why that play at second base was closer than it probably should be. Mound visit taking place with the entire infield as Arlington 90 feet away from striking distance and potentially plating the first run of the ball game. Scoreless here in the top of the third after Arlington had already plated 5 by this point in yesterday's ball game.
You mentioned 6 straight shutout complete games for Bustamante. That's why this at bat is so big, because every run is so crucial.
They can be at a premium.
You're not going to generate 5-6 runs of offense against a guy like Danny Bustamante. You need to keep this a 1-2 run output from the Colts and try and sneak across some runs of your own. So that's why they're meeting right now. You cannot let this game get blown open with a gapper into right center field and a 2-out, 2 RBI double.
The head coach of the Eagles is Mike Tovar. Assistant coaches Jason Smiga, Jason Gunter, and Chandler Crane. It was not Coach Tovar that was out there on the mound. It was one of his assistants who was very emphatic to the rest of the defense behind the pitcher, Barrett Hare.
Alvarado takes a pitch below the knees for a ball. Breaking pitch from her.
That was a good breaking pitch. It just broke too far inside.
Alvarado's got some pop. I've seen him put good swings on a baseball in a game that was just into the wind. He still ripped it off the left field wall for a double that night. 90-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner for a called strike. Abraham was a .321 hitter, had a home run, 17 RBIs. Slugged .464 on the season. He goes bare hands, no batting gloves for the third baseman. 1-1, gets away from the catcher. That's the one you want to go on. Here's the play at the plate, not in time! 3 wild pitches brings a leadoff single from Bustamante all the way around to score, and the Colts have a 1-0 lead. That one went sideways off the catcher, Zach. That's the one that you're waiting for.
Yep, it caromed off of the chest plate of Cole Cage. He didn't have a good beat on it. Murphy was already a third of the way up the baseline on the initial pitch by her, and he had to just come about 60 feet, slid in head first to plate the first run.
2-1, back up the middle. That's a base hit. They're going to wave the runner. Here comes the play at the plate. The throw is wide. It's 2-0. The throw to second, it's an error. Diving in safely is Alvarado. That's an RBI single. It's 2-0 Colts.
Those runs by Arlington are their taco tallies. All first runs of the game are presented by Taqueria Taco Express this season. Visit any of their 5 locations on Taco Tuesday for their $10 meal special.
That's exactly what the Eagles are hoping to avoid. It's why they had that mound visit, Zach, to make sure that everybody was ready. They knew the game plan. Alvarado still found a way to deliver, and it's a 2-0 lead for this Arlington ball club. First pitch, a breaking ball in for a called strike to Axel Alvarado. He singled to start things in the second inning. Open stance from the left side of the plate. Looking at onto this Colts lead. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. The outfield playing fairly shallow. Would be tough to score on a hard hit ball into the outfield. 1-1 offering. On the inside corner at 90 miles an hour. That's a good pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Axel raised his bat up thinking it would be inside, but he's crowding the plate and it crossed the zone to bring it to a 1-2 count.
Herr checks the runner at second before bringing his 1-2. Chopper up the third base line. Little spin on it. Will stay foul.
Good heads-up play there by Jake Hayes, waiting on it to finally spin too far to the left. Check the angular momentum to make sure that it would just be a harmless foul.
Also smart to pick it up when he did, because it could have also spun back the other way. That one had the old backspin, side spin, a little bit of everything on it. Axel waiting for a 1-2 offering from her. Breaking ball hit back into the screen.
And see, that would have been a called strike. That's a good swing by Alvarado to keep the at-bat alive.
Jeremiah Taylor waits on deck. Would love a 2-out RBI opportunity. Herr shakes off Cage a couple of times. Now time called. A bit of a disconnect between pitcher and catcher in this third inning. 4 hits for the Colts tonight. 2 came in the third inning. The 1-2 misses low for a ball, 2-2. Herr will check the runner again at second and bring a 2-2 offering. Swing and a miss. That will end the inning for your Arlington Colts, but not before they push across 2 runs to make this a 2-0 Arlington Colt lead. Bottom of the third inning we go. This is Colt Baseball on the Zap Network, brought to you by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back after this.
A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Ika Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Ika can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ikasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Ika Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
Bottom of the third inning, Colts jump out to a 2-0 lead, and we just learned there's a little bit of a family rivalry going on at the ballpark tonight as cousins are battling to advance to the playoffs.
Yeah, Simon Hercules apparently has a cousin on the other side of the diamond.
On the mound tonight.
On the mound, Barrett Herr. And Hercules hasn't seen a whole lot of time. He's a younger player on this Colts roster, but he has seen some time in the field. He's a junior and will likely see some time next season, getting some valuable experience with the varsity squad, though. And, yeah, it's always fun when you have a little bit of a family connection at the ballpark. But who would have thought that you'd be squaring off against one another in a capacity such as this? Usually you have brothers that are on the same team, like Cole and Case and Cage or Max and Jake Hayes, but cousins on either end of those dugouts. Colts in the third base tonight, first base occupied by the home team, who now find themselves trailing 2-0, and that may be all that Bustamante needs, Tim.
Yeah, the Colts are very happy where they sit right now with a lead in the third inning and their ace on the hill rolling. It'll be 7-8-9 due up, trying to get things started. Big swing and a miss for strike one from Kaysen Cage. Kaysen, the designated hitter tonight. Steps into the right-handed batter's box, slightly open stance. This one hit into the left center field gap, on the move, reaching up, unable to make the play. Throw goes into the cutoff man at short. It's Hensley. That's a leadoff double for Kaysen Cage.
Designated hitter getting a hit, and that's usually a spot that is well covered by Gannon Howard. Just a good, pure swing by Kaysen Cage to send it to that left center field wall. Good pickup on the carom, though, in order to ensure that it's not more than a double.
That ball was hit well, and it was into the gap. Tough for Howard to get all the way back there. Now with a runner on second base and nobody out, Cal Attell will step to the dish. He shows bunt, lays it down. Jeremiah lets it bounce foul and picks it up for strike one. He was quick, ready to try and get that runner at third base should he attempt to advance. That's why he's all district defense.
Has been 2 years in a row the district defensive player of the year. Was a starter as a sophomore behind the plate. Headed off to Austin College after this season.
That one's in for a strike. They throw behind the runner to second, not in time. Diving back safely is Cage. Always a dangerous play to throw behind a runner at second base.
Shows the trust you have in the arm of Jeremiah Taylor and the all-district shortstop Mason Hensley. Does make the catch, does not get the tag in time.
0-2 delivering, foul back into the screen.
Yeah, back to a traditional swing now as the first baseman. 8th spot in the Richardson lineup. Cage, the first base runner allowed out of the 7th spot. Up until that point, it had been 6 up, 6 down for Bustamante.
Checks the runner at second base, brings the 0-2 offering on the inside corner, called strike three.
4th strikeout for Bustamante. And Attell, a victim of the backwards K.
That's a bad at bat. You've got to find a way to move that runner over, whether it was the sacrifice or a ground ball to the right side. Would have given you an opportunity to have Neiman with a runner at third, nobody out. Instead, he's at second with 1 out. Neiman, closed stance, hits from the left side, holds the bat on his back shoulder. Backdoor slider on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1.
We got a comment from Donna Nipper out in Mississippi, always tuning in as she usually does. And then a mutual friend of ours, Randy Russ, saying, "Let's go Colts," in the YouTube chat.
Appreciate Randy wishing us well tonight. Pump fake back to second as Bustamante steps off. We're going to get a conversation with Hensley and Bustamante, possibly over maybe a pickoff play or coverage at second base.
Yeah, I got to make sure that your signs are aligned. Make sure that there's actually somebody covering the base when you want to make an attempt like that.
0-1 the count to the shortstop, Neiman. Hensley playing behind the runner, then moves. Fastball does not get the call.
Tried to paint the corner with the heater brush, didn't get it.
Inconsistent with that outside corner so far in this game.
Brett Patterson also in the chat saying, "Let's go Colts." Fans, if you subscribe to the channel and wait a brief 10 minutes, you can join the chat too, and we'll give you a shout out on the broadcast.
1-1 pitch showing bunt, fouling it off.
No, off his foot.
Off his foot, they say. He showed bunt the whole way through, though. He never pulled the bunt back. How is that not a strike as he offered at it?
And that's what Coach Womack is asking. Did he pull back the offering? And the crew chief will pull in the four-man crew that you get during Texas high school playoffs.
That looked like an attempt to me, Zach. Not trying to be the broadcast homer, but that's why I thought it was a foul ball, because he never pulled the attempt back.
When you leave the bat where it is and don't pull back, it counts as a swing. And we'll see if it counts as a strike or if they issue him first base. Coach Womack continuing to plead his case, but first base is going to be awarded after the conference concludes. A hit by pitch of the bottom of the order. 2 men on and 1 man out for Crazy Train Ozzie Abs.
That was an interesting result. I'd love to know.
They must have thought that he pulled back before contact was made.
Top of the order. Abs grounded out to the second baseman, his first appearance. Hard hit ground ball would get the Colts out of the inning. First pitch, a breaking ball, does not get the call, just a bit low. Has a little bit of an open stance, pumps his bat up and down, and he waits for the 1-0 offering. That one's on the inside corner. Good breaking pitch from Bustamante for a strike.
Good adjustment and better placement. He's been trying to get those pitches into that right side of the strike zone. This time he gets the call.
One ball, 1 strike, 1 out in a 2-0 game. Fouled back into the screen, 1-2. Colts jumped ahead 2-0 in the top half of this inning. Eagles trying to rally and match that number, if not put up a crooked number of their own. Colts trying to get out of this one. Lead still intact. 1-2, fouled back into the screen. Was able to get Abs to extend the zone on that pitch. Now that you've shown him the high fastball, I'll be intrigued if you maybe go a little bit higher, Zach. He already expanded once. One-two, chop towards third. This could be 2. Alvarado steps on third, throws to first in time.
Wow.
For out number 3. The 5-3 double play gets Bustamante out of the inning. Top of the 4th, here we come. Colts on top, 2-0 on the Zap Network. We'll be right back after this.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus, and members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com. To the 4th inning we go here at Richardson High School. Arlington with a 2-0 lead preserved after Bustamante gets out of a jam. If you'll pardon the breakfast food puns. 2-0 the score, 4-1 the hit differential. Richardson got a man as far as second base, could not get him home. And it'll be the 7, 8, 9 spots in the Arlington lineup. Jeremiah Taylor, Gannon Howard, Hayden White going up against Barrett Herr. Wind continuing to swirl here at Richardson. It had been blowing from right to left. Now the Texas flag out in center field is blowing from left to right.
Number 23, Jeremiah Taylor.
Taylor laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt during his last plate appearance. Does not have a runner this time, so he will be swinging away to lead off the top of the fourth. First pitch from her is going to bounce off of the glove of Cole Cage and tail away for ball number 1. The 1-0 delivery. Breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. 1-1 the count to JT. Bit of a jam over at the Gopher Park by-district round between Jesuit and Bowie, also live on the Zap Network. Currently scoreless as Isaiah Henderson continues to fight for Bowie's playoff lives, but they put runners on second and third, and it looks like Henderson just got out of the jam. Still scoreless over at Gopher Park between the Rangers and the Volunteers as JT looks at ball 2 low here.
Anytime Isaiah Henderson's on the mound, that team's going to have at least a chance to win that baseball game.
Taylor's going to put this one in play, and it will hop up the third baseline and go too far to the left for a foul.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Zach, but I believe Isaiah Taylor, a pretty big contributor on the Arlington High School football team as well. Is he not?
Jeremiah Taylor?
Jeremiah Taylor. I don't know why I keep saying. I keep
Actually,
thinking Isaiah Henderson.
We were just talking about
Yeah.
Isaiah. To my knowledge, JT focuses solely on baseball.
Okay.
2-2 again. That one's away for ball 3. He's worked the count full.
With speed like his, he could hurt some people running over from the.
As a running back or
Yeah.
a slot out of the backfield, I could definitely see it. Payoff pitch, swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Catcher tries to make the tag. He's trying to run it, and it's going to be high, and he's safe.
There's that speed we were just talking about.
He outran Cole Cage, and then Cage tried to loft it over JT's head. It pulled a tail off of the first base bag, and Taylor makes it to first on the drop third strike.
Cage tried to swipe at him, and we just talked about, hey, this guy could be a running back. There's some elusiveness out of the backstop, Jeremiah Taylor.
So that's going to be issued as a drop third strike, plus an error on the catcher on the throw.
Looked like
drop third
Taylor may have
strike,
twisted the
E2.
ankle a little bit. He's trying to walk something off over there, Zach.
And it looks like maybe the catcher, Cole Cage, might have pulled a little something trying to chase him down the baseline.
It was just a weird-looking play. I wonder if there's – now they're asking, was he out of the base path? I don't think that was the case
Home plate
at all.
umpire is clarifying that he stayed on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, we're not able to bring you video coverage or have instant replay or anything like that where we could try to take a look at this interesting play. But the home plate umpire is going to call in his 3 co-workers. As it stands, Jeremiah Taylor is leading things off, reaching on a drop third strike E2.
I'd love to have them mic'd up, the umpires, and one time just hear like, hey guys, I really don't need your help. I'm just bringing you out here so
Right.
it looks like I know I got this call right.
You know, the UFL has a lot of transparency when they're making judgment calls and when challenges are being issued. They'll mic up the head of officiating as he's looking at the instant replay, and he'll say, we do have pass interference on number 15. It's a 15-yard penalty. Put the ball at the 30-yard line with 10:55 on the clock or something like that, like down to every last detail instead of having to wait on the official or find out, why that call was being made. He's able to take a look at that instant replay and let the fans know. That's one of my favorite things about the UFL is the candor and the transparency that they have. But they also have this thing called a super challenge where if you feel like there was a hold on the offense during a touchdown play, you could throw the challenge flag and say offense number 72 committed holding. If they go back and they find that 72 committed the hold, they'll retroactively throw the flag and take the touchdown off the board.
Wow. That's kind of cool.
Taylor will stay at first base after the conference concludes, and there's a man aboard for Gannon Howard. Attell covering Taylor at first base. We'll see if JT tries to take off. Bunt is squared up for it. It's up the third baseline. Only play is to first, and it is in time. So the sacrifice will move JT into scoring position on the 5-3 sac BU by Gannon Howard.
Good sacrifice. The only play was to first base. Put the pressure on the defense. Give your offense an opportunity to drive something in.
Man in scoring position now with just one out for Hayden White. Had a long fly to center field his last time up as the curveball does not drop in. Ball number 1.
And you know, Zach, I mentioned earlier that Jeremiah Taylor played both sports. I actually got confused. I mixed it up with the South Grand Prairie catcher who plays both sports. He's one of their better – he's the quarterback on that team. That went in there for a strike. And when you look at the athletic district that Arlington comes from, South Grand Prairie, Bowie, Martin, there's some great catchers in that district.
There are.
There's some really, really good backstops in the athletic district that Arlington plays in.
1-1 to Hayden. Is now 2-1, too far inside. Shortstop Neiman trying to keep JT from taking too long of a lead off of that second base bag.
He's so fast, though. If you tried to backpick him after a pitch, he's just going to take third.
That one will be a called strike in the upper and inside quadrant. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Hayden White. Bustamante had a single to left field his last time up. He is waiting on deck.
Be intrigued if they even pitch to Bustamante.
This one's headed to left center field. It's lofting in the air and will be made by Barasa.
That one just kind of hung up in the air a little bit, Zach.
Another F8. It looked like it was headed to the gap, and it just did not drop in time. And it'll be out number 2 for the top of the order.
Got in on the hands of Hayden White, and I think the wind may have even hurt him a little bit. On a calmer day, that one probably dies before it reaches the outfielders. And here's exactly what I thought. They're not going to pitch to Bustamante. They're not going to let him beat him again. They're going to go after Mason Hensley.
A free pass will put Bustamante aboard, and Murphy will come out of the dugout to courtesy run for the pitcher.
I mean, the difference between Bustamante and Mason Hensley is 92 points of batting average, right? Bustamante, a 370 hitter. Mason Hensley hits 278. So obviously doing that for a reason.
There is a strategy behind it. First base was also unoccupied. You can get the force out at a couple of different bases now.
There goes.
JT's going. And he came off of the base a little bit, but the third baseman, Jake Hayes, lost it. So the tag is inconsequential. Murphy stayed at first base. It's runners on the corners now, and that force out is eliminated. Umpire showing strike 1 at the plate. It's an 0-1 to Hensley. And it's quickly 0-2 as Herr finds the outside corner.
Herr's done a nice job of maintaining the velocity. Started the game at 92. Here we are in the 4th, still sitting at 90.
And Murphy is going to trot down to second base on ball 1. 2 runners in scoring position now as the shortstop Neiman didn't cover second base, and Max Hayes was out of position from second base's spot. 1-2 now to Hensley. 2 men in scoring position. And he'll swing and miss at that one. 5th strikeout for Barrett Herr, and that will end the Arlington threat and the top half of the 4th. Time for the 4th inning stretch, which is presented by Taqueria Taco Express. They feature a wide, authentic menu and can solve any Mexican food craving. Order online to collect points for free food or get 5 tacos and a large agua fresca on Taco Tuesdays for just $10. Arlington leads 2-0 as we head to the break. We'll be back with more high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing right after this. Taqueria Taco Express is your one-stop shop for all things authentic Mexican in Arlington and Grand Prairie.
And this fall, you'll now have 4 stops to choose from. Visit the new location off 20 and Little Road or any of their 3 original locations and try their $10 Taco Tuesday. It includes 5 tacos and an agua fresca. They also feature new birria items plus tortas, gorditas, and more. Find out just how much more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com. If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
To the bottom of the 4th we go. Arlington leading 2-0 against the Richardson Eagles after taking game 1 by an impressive score of 19-3. Tim, part of the story of last night's game was errors and runs off of a wild pitch. Arlington's first run of the game was off of a wild pitch, and then they just put a man in scoring position because of an error on the catcher. Seems to be same story, another verse here at the Nest.
Yeah, defense is always of a premium when it comes to the playoffs, but it didn't hurt them that inning.
Escape by the skin of their teeth as they get ready to go to their half of the 4th. It'll be Aiden Barraza, Cole Cage, and Barrett Herr, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 in the lineup. Back on the other side of the Metroplex, also on the Zap Network. 4th inning, scoreless between Bowie and Jesuit, as ball 1 is issued to Barraza to lead off the bottom of the 4th.
Bustamante found himself in a touch of trouble in the 3rd inning. Got a ground ball double play to get out of it.
Check swing he did not offer. It's 2-0 now. Looks like they're headed to the 5th. Back at Gopher Park. Pops and Jot Holly on the call for that ball game as this one gets fouled off.
Henderson's also an incredibly fast worker, and if you let him get into a rhythm, he will mow you down.
Trying to force a game 3 that would also be played at Gopher Park. As this one is high and tight, they would flip for who's home for that ball game.
Weather made, I'm going to assume, made the ballpark at Bowie unplayable today.
It did. Those storms that came through washed out the infield. The 3-1 is fouled off, and that'll work the count full. Both of the foul balls that Barraza has made contact with has been late swings that go up the first baseline towards the home dugout. We'll see if Bustamante can collect his 5th strikeout of the game on this payoff pitch on the way. And it'll stay fouled off. I heard somebody in the stands saying got him. Barraza, almost a strikeout victim, got a tiny piece of it that went back into the backstop, and we'll do it again.
Trying to get the leadoff base runner on for the 2nd inning in a row. Not a lot of teams been able to do that against Bustamante, especially in district play this year.
But they'll do it here as that pitch tails away. And it's a base on balls for Barraza to lead off the bottom of the 4th. That'll take us to the catcher, Cole Cage, who ended the 1st inning on a soft ground out to first base. We'll see if he elects for the small ball.
Leadoff runner finding their way aboard for the 2nd straight inning. Does not look to be laying down a bunt.
Instead, it'll be a strike looking at the knees to make it 0-1.
Cage possibly could have been shaken up in the top half of the inning. Good to see him doing okay.
Speaking of doing okay, that was a very good dig by Jeremiah Taylor on that ball 1. positioned the glove between his legs and was able to corral that slider before it got behind him. 1-1 now. Up the middle, and it's into the glove of Hayden White. Firing back to first base, and it's going to go wide and carry him off of the fence, but it will be a line out to 4 as Cage is retired and Barraza back by the skin of his teeth.
It almost surprised Hayden White, and he had to take a second to realize that he caught it and throw it to first, and in that time, rushed the throw just a bit, and Colts very lucky that ball didn't go into the dugout, and that keeps the runner at first base with the 1 out.
Pitcher Barrett Herr with a man on and 1 out now.
Herr struck out swinging in the second inning, trying to help himself. Team trailing 2-0.
Wynn covering that first base bag. Ball 1 is issued away. Herr is a right-handed thrower, but a left-handed batter. Little ambidextrous as the check down over to first doesn't even require a courtesy tag as Barraza's back standing up.
Designated hitter Kaysen Cage taking some hacks in the batting cage to stay loose.
Another check down, another safe call as Herr continues to wait for the second pitch of the at-bat. That one will get fouled off.
Off the foot, it looks like, of Herr.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on. Arlington with a 2-0 advantage, but we have seen Bustamante collect 2-0 wins during district competition. Sometimes 2 runs is all you need, and now the third base coach will call time to check on his pitcher batter.
No matter what baseball or what level you're playing the game of baseball at, there are certain pitchers where even 1 run sometimes seems like a huge mountain to climb.
It can be. It was a 1-0 ball game between South Grand Prairie and Bowie, and then a 2-1 ball game on the one that you called.
2 tightly contested games.
Swing and a miss as the off-speed bottoms out underneath the cut of Herr. It's 1-2.
What's interesting tonight, Zach, is we're seeing 2 different types of pitchers. Both guys like to get strikeouts, but they go after it different ways. Herr, much more physically imposing on the mound. Bigger, taller, throws harder.
This one's going to catch the corner for the called strike 3.
There's Bustamante. He's a bit more crafty. He uses his breaking stuff a bit better. He gets ahead with the backdoor slider. His fastball doesn't have the same velo that Herr does, but they still both find ways to get the job done with different types of stuff.
So now it'll be up to the second baseman, Max Hayes, as the check down over to first brings no results.
Is there any better feeling than striking out your counterpart for the second time today?
Oh, there has to be. That has to be a great feeling. Taylor will fire, and now they've got the runner caught. And now it's just going to be a rundown. First, over to Hensley at short, chasing him back to first. And now here he falls down, and the tag is going to be applied. It's Busta coming over with the assist. That was a 2-3-6-1 rundown that will end the inning.
That's the district play. That's the district all-defensive player of the year, making a fantastic defensive play to end the inning.
So we head to the 5th. Arlington still ahead 2-0. Playoff high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing, will be back right after this.
If you're like me and need printed materials to get your brand out there to the community, then you need Eka Signs. Conveniently located in central Arlington, Eka features a wide selection of shirts, hats, banners, yard signs, acrylics, magnets for your car, magnets for your fridge, tumblers, A-frames, and more. Call Eka at 817-617-2229 for more information and tell them Zap sent you.
Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to hear Zach talk about things beyond the realm of sport, catch him with me, Ben Hart, on the Intergalactic Peace Coalition podcast. For nearly a decade, we've been geeking out on IPC about our favorite nerdy things. We have a back catalog of over 350 episodes diving into sci-fi and fantasy stories like no one else. Find the Intergalactic Peace Coalition at ipcpodcast.podbean.com or download via your favorite podcast app.
To the 5th inning we go. A great pickoff rundown between first and second. Caught Aiden Barraza flat-footed. And now Arlington with an opportunity to extend their 2-0 lead as the 3, 4, 5 spots in the Arlington lineup, heart of the order, getting ready to dig into the batter's box. London Prater leading things off as he gets ready to face Barrett Herr for the 3rd time in this ballgame. Previous 2 times, got a single in the infield that he was able to leg out. Struck out swinging his most recent at-bat.
Prater, a big imposing figure, the leading power hitter, run producer for this Colts offense. Leads the team in home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage. This is a big opportunity for the Colts. You're already ahead 2-0. You'd love to possibly just, hey, what if you put an 8-run rally right here, send Bustamante out for one more frame and punch your ticket.
Stranger things have happened in this series. First pitch way too far inside to Prater for ball 1.
We do need to give her some credit, though, Zach. He's pitched a nice game thus far. You know, the defense and really some wild pitches. You can call them pass balls, wild pitches. I'm not the one to decide. Really let him down in the 1 inning he allowed runs.
This one's lofted to shallow left field, and it is going to bloop in for a base hit. Barraza came charging at it. Neiman trying to get it over his shoulder from shortstop, and nobody able to corral it as Prater leads things off with a single to left center.
That ball off the end of the bat had just enough on it to get out of the infield, but not enough on it that Barraza had time to get to it.
Sometimes it's just about placement, putting it where the defense is not. Matthew Wynn is going to square up for the bunt, and he will get a strike issued to him.
That one looked outside unless he
just may not have pulled back in time.
Interesting.
Cole Cage got up from his crouch to chase Prater back to first base. Wynn will take a look at a strike number 2 that crosses the zone. Umpire correcting the field scoreboard here. It was originally showing 1-1. Our scoreboard was correct. The 0-2 to Wynn. He'll just kind of chop this one off the inside part of his bat, and it goes foul up the third baseline. That looked like a swing just to try to keep the at-bat alive, Tim. I don't think he was really expecting to put that one in play that much.
That's sometimes all you have to do. Fight off tough pitches, find something that you can handle and put it in play. That's the game plan. Put the ball in play. Make this defense make the play. That's what happened yesterday, and a big inning happened.
Still 0-2 to Win. Leadoff man aboard. Got a single to center field and walked his past 2 outings. And again, Prater getting a little too comfortable out there on his leadoff from first base. Cage again jumping from his crouch to chase him back.
A very generous secondary lead for Prater.
1 ball and 2 strikes now to the first baseman, trying to reach safely for the 3rd time tonight. Low, a zip throw over to first. Prater's back standing up. Wynn has worked the count back even to 2-2.
It's a nice at bat by Wynn. You mentioned the tough pitch that he fouled off earlier. Now he's worked it even.
Herr's 2-2. This one's ripped to center field. Barraza's got it, and it will chase Prater back, diving in to first base.
That ball was hit hard, but you talked about placing it earlier, and that one unfortunately placed right into the glove of the center fielder. He might have only needed to take, 3 total steps the way that ball was hit?
Standing on the neck region of the Eagle logo that's out there in straightaway center field.
Only had to move a feather or two to put that one away. Alvarado drove in the second run of the game, as that one's in for a strike. The first one came a pass ball while he was in the box, then was able to capitalize with a single back up the middle.
Made it to second base on an error, so 2 errors committed. This one's headed to left center field, but it's hooking towards Barraza, and it looks like he made the catch for out number 2.
That one off the bat looked like Barraza took a poor route and it was going to get over his head, but a great job of recovering, some good speed, closing the gap very, very quickly, and he was able to corral it for the second out. That looked like a gapper off the bat.
It did, but the wind was looping from left to center. I wonder if it caught it and moved it towards Barraza so he could close the distance a little bit easier.
Wind blowing out for a lefty, almost hurting a righty right now.
Axel Alvarado is indeed a lefty, and he digs into the batter's box for his third at-bat. This one's off of the glove of the catcher. Prater's headed for second. The throw is not going to be in time. He'll make it on ball 1 to Alvarado. And a wild pitch. Tim, I'm trying to keep a tally.
No debating that one. That was definitely a wild pitch.
Definitely a wild pitch. 4 of those, according to my unofficial tally, in this ball game.
I have a tally going, too. I can count and see if your unofficial tally matches mine. Then we can make it an official tally.
There we go. And a good comebacker with an 89-mile-per-hour fastball on the inside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Axel Alvarado now.
I've got 4 of them as well, 3 of which happened in the third inning, moving Bustamante all around.
Yep. This one's off the end of the bat and foul. And it's 1-2.
I think is that 2 unofficial accounts make an official
Make
account?
it something official? Possibly. We're not the home team, so it's not our score, technically.
They have no errors on the board. Now just 1.
They have just the 1 on the catcher. But AB definitely advanced on an error. Speaking of an error, this one is going to get wedged into the backstop. Ball 2 will move Prater to third.
Wild pitch number 5. Not really giving Cage an opportunity to make a play on a lot of these.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Arlington's third run just 90 feet away. Her able to look straight ahead as the righty delivers the pitch home. Too high. Cage tried to frame it.
He's still framing it.
He just kept holding it there. At some point, you have to let it go.
That's showing up the umpire.
That's trying to show that you know more than he does.
And that's also how you don't get your pitcher the call on the next 3-2 pitch.
That's very true. Umpires take mental note of that. There is a gamesmanship between catcher and umpire for sure. A little bit of a tomahawk chop coming out of the dugout for Arlington along that third baseline, trying to create some visual distraction of the righty pitcher. Payoff pitch on the way, and it's going to get fouled straight back.
That's a big, big cut from Alvarado as he's able to get just a piece of it, live to fight another pitch. The difference between 3-0 and 2-0 is huge when you've got a guy like Bustamante on the mound.
Well, and even if Richardson gets a run, 2-1 is different as this one gets fouled straight back. A 2-1 score gives you a lot of momentum. You're like, okay, we've got the lead cut in half. But if it's a 3-0 game, then that first run that the team opposing you plates just has a little less meaning to it.
Absolutely. And just the mental burden of, oh, great, now we need another run against this guy.
Payoff pitch, ball 4. It's going to carry him straight back to the catcher. That's one of those ones that, yes, it got through the legs. Axel thought about rounding first and heading for second, but the shortstop is standing on the second base bag.
That's a good job by Prater to read that as well as he did and not run himself into an out. You've got Taylor at the dish who can handle the bat well. You don't want to kill this rally by trying to score on a pass ball that you didn't have a chance to get across the plate on.
2-0 the score. 2 men aboard with 2 outs for Jeremiah Taylor. Check down over to first. Axel is diving back head first in time. Got to be careful with those pickoffs and checkdowns. If it gets away from the first baseman, Prater's going to score.
Trying to keep the run out first and not let this be a 2 RBI situation if he could steal second, though.
Another check down.
I think they got him.
Ooh. Just barely back safe, says
That's a fortuitous call for the Colts because where that ball was caught was essentially caught and tag at the same time. Axel might be that's about the max you can get off the bag there, son.
Herr wants to reset the pitches. JT likely to call time. He got tired of waiting.
Sure.
He's waiting for the first pitch of his at-bat. All the attention's over at Axel at first base right now.
Herr does shake off his catcher cage quite a few times in this ball game.
First pitch to JT. Drops in, and now it's a rundown situation, and it will...
He was trying to draw the throw. He wanted the rundown to get the run home.
He wanted the rundown to try to plate Prater. Instead, they let Axel take second base. It's strike one at the plate.
That's a fielder's indifference.
JT up the middle, base hit.
That's why he tried to hold him. They're going to wave the runner.
The throw is going to be a rundown. Axel caught along third base. It's a high throw. Third baseman chasing. The throw is going to come home. Now, Herr is going to throw up the baseline, and the tag is finally going to be made of Axel Alvarado. Tim, I don't even know what positions applied that tag, but Jeremiah Taylor will deliver the RBI base hit that will give Arlington a 3-0 advantage as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Big run plated on the base hit up the middle by JT. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. It's now a 3-0 advantage for the Colts. High school playoff baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. Will be back after this.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Romy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Romy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. Welcome back to the Nest here at Richardson High School alongside Tim Costello. I'm Zach Arnold. Zach Arnold Productions bringing you playoff baseball presented by John Wade Roofing, Arlington's favorite roofer since 1982. Tim was able to keep up with all of the events transpiring during that rundown. He's got it listed as an 8-2-5-1-4 chase of Axel Alvarado to end the inning, but not before Jeremiah Taylor with a single back up the middle to center field, putting London Prater across, and it is a 3-0 advantage for Arlington as they head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Definitely a far cry from the 19 that they plated in last night's ball game, but when you're throwing your ace, sometimes all you need is just that 3. We'll see if that holds as we get ready to go into the tail end of this ball game. Max Hayes was aboard during the rundown of Aiden Barraza, so he will get a new at-bat to start this bottom of the 5th inning. Bustamante back out for another inning of work, and he delivers strike 1 to start this bottom of the 5th. It'll be Max Hayes, Jake Hayes, and Kason Cage as the swing and a miss results in strike 2. Bustamante tries to get the inside corner, cannot get the call. It's ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes now as the righty comes home. And that'll be ball 2 as JT has to skitter to his right in order to keep that one in front of him. Nobody's aboard, but it's good fundamentals to just continue that motion and continue keeping the ball in front of you like that. The 2-2 pitch now. In the air, headed for foul territory. Matthew Wynn giving chase, and he will watch it go behind the first base dugout as a half dozen kids head to the batting cages on that home side to try to retrieve that foul ball. Max Hayes will dig back into the batter's box, and we'll do it again. Two balls, 2 strikes again from Bustamante, too far inside, and after a 0-2 count, Max Hayes has worked it back full. It's now 3-2. This one's in play, headed to left center field. Gannon Howard reaching out and making the grab. Sharply hit ball to left center field, and Howard with quite possibly the play of the game to prevent a double in that left center gap.
Zach, you could hear the fans, especially on the Richardson side, who thought that was going to be a leadoff extra base hit, but Howard reaching up at the very last second and able to put that one away for out number 1.
So that'll take us to the third baseman, Jake Hayes. And he will take a look at ball number 1 with 1 out.
That's going to be one that you look back on at the end of this game and say that might have been the play of the game, Zach, with everything that goes with it. Leadoff hitter after another run, trying to get something going, and they just won't let it happen.
Swing and a miss. That's strike number 2.
You don't have a season like Bustamante's had on the mound without some great defensive play behind you.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly what he got there, the big defensive assist to keep runners off the base paths. The 1-2 tails away for ball number 2. Hayes, one of the 5 strikeout victims that Bustamante has recorded. Looking for number 6 here on the 2-2. Check swing. Did he go around? JT wants to appeal. Home plate umpire says, no, this is my call, and my call is ball 3.
I like the idea, though. Bury that breaking ball.
Payoff pitch now. High and tight, and that's ball 4. So it's a 1-out walk for Jake Hayes. And the only player that has gotten a base hit against him is the DH, Kason Cage. He did get a double to left center that went past Gannon Howard. He did not have anybody aboard, though, as a runner is going to be taking over at first. I believe I caught the number 4 on his jersey. That'll be Michael Thrailkill now running at first for the Eagles.
First base, Michael Thrailkill.
And the PA announcer confirms it for us. Not a courtesy runner, though, as Jake Hayes is the third baseman tonight. This will be a pinch runner with a re-enter. Curveball drops into the bucket for a called strike 1 to Kason Cage.
We saw Cage in the cage taking some hacks, just trying to stay warm and loose. When you're DHing, it's so hard to stay engaged at times.
Bustamante steps off the plate and fires over to first. Runners back in plenty of time. Thrailkill, that's a fun name. The 0-1 home. bounces in front of Jeremiah Taylor. He keeps it in front of him, though, for ball 1, and the runner stays put.
Bustamante would love another ground ball double play to get him through this 5th inning, keeping the pitch count where it is.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 man on here.
Ooh.
Cannot get the call.
That was a good-looking fastball in the inner third. Not sure where it missed.
It was the right height. Must not have been the right placement. Runner goes, and it's a hit and run that gets fouled off for strike 2.
Not a bad idea, trying to spark some offense. Bustamante's a tough guy to get base runners against. Why not take advantage of the one you have?
Tough to get base runners against, and even tougher to get runs off of. He's only given up 16 earned runs all season in his 10 starts.
And a lot of that came before district play.
This one's going to get fouled out of play.
You mentioned he's got 6 straight complete game shutouts.
And then he also picked up the win in relief in Saturday's district championship against South Grand Prairie. Waiting on the pitch that he wants from JT before he comes set. Glance of second, and he'll throw that direction, and it's a close call as Thrailkill just barely back in time.
Zach, it looks like we're possibly getting a few drops of rain here.
I hear a couple of those pitter patters.
I saw some umbrellas come out. Thank God you got the tent.
It's an investment. Foul ball into home plate. As long as it doesn't lightning, we are in good position.
If it's lightning, you will see the fastest version of Tim Costello you've ever seen getting out of these metal bleachers that we're in. I don't sprint often, but lightning is one that'll get me moving.
Very, very frightening.
It's a good way to put it.
Galileo. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Cage. Runner goes. It's a ball, but the throw down to second is in time.
Oh, my goodness. Taylor is amped, and he is proving once again, Zach, that crime doesn't pay.
It's a ball at the plate. Count runs full, but the bases are eliminated as the dart by Taylor to Hayden White eliminates the base runner.
Taylor putting it on display.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs now is high and tight, and he gives that base runner right back.
Makes the caught stealing even that much more important. Instead of 2 on with 1 out, now there's 1 on with 2 out. Attell struck out looking in the 3rd inning.
Looks like the Jesuit Rangers finally found the answer to the Isaiah Henderson problem, Tim. It is 4-0 Jesuit across town. That could be the end of Bowie's historic season as strike 1 is swung on by Attell here at the plate. 19 wins on the season for the Volunteers, the most in program history, making it to the playoffs for the first time in 12 years. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire on the appeal. It's a ball and a strike here to Attell.
And I know this, all the ball players on that Bowie team wanted to win a championship this year, but I think they have to recognize they're part of something bigger, and you were part of a culture-changing year for the Volunteers.
No doubt. Swing and a miss from Attell, and it is strike 2.
Best season in program history, first time in the playoffs in 12 years. And when, they look at where this Colts team is, and you look at 4 years from now, Bowie's been to 4 straight playoffs or whatever it is.
It's entirely possible.
This was the class that changed that.
Coach Johnson doing a great job over in Southeast Arlington. And Bustamante doing a great job on the mound here as he catches Attell looking.
Taylor knew it before the umpire even called it.
Strike 3 is called. Out number 3 is issued, and we're headed to the 6th with a 3-run advantage for the Colts. This is playoff high school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Hey, Arlington residents, if you're like me and tired of rising insurance rates, then it's time to make the switch to Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services. Since 1984, they've been your trusted local insurance experts, offering competitive quotes for all your needs. Auto, homeowners, umbrella, renters, boats, and even classic cars. Why settle for less when you can get the best? Compare coverages today and see how much you can save by visiting chapman-cornelius.com. Chapman Cornelius, your local insurance partner since 1984.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Extraordinaria y auténtica comida mexicana, aquí encontrarás el mejor menú para el paladar más exigente. Puedes visitarlos en una de sus 3 sucursales ubicadas en Arlington y en Green Prairie. No te pierdas de su grandioso especial todos los martes, Taco Tuesday, de 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrarnos o hacer un pedido, visítalos a su página web taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Welcome back to Richardson, Texas, home of the Eagles, and our temporary home up in the very back of the grandstands, just to the left of the press box. Creating our own little press area, Tim. You were talking about the tent that's providing us a little bit of a shield from the rain that's taking place up here on this northern part of the Metroplex.
Few heavy drops have fallen for sure.
Crocodile tears is what my family likes to call them.
Definitely don't have rain again, but there's been enough tears that enough drops that a couple people have the umbrellas out and hoods are up.
Herr is back out for another inning of work and will deliver a strike number 1 call here to Gannon Howard, leading things off. Made a great catch out in center field to eliminate any chance at momentum that the Eagles were looking for in the past half inning. Finds himself behind here, though, 0-2 after that second strike call.
And, dare I say, Bustamante may not have his best stuff tonight, but the defense has been really good behind him tonight, Zach.
Swing and a miss, and Howard is retired on 3 pitches.
I think he's had some trouble locating at different points. He's walked more batters probably than he would like to, but the defense has played great, and he's pitched to contact maybe a little bit more, and he's done a good job of using what he's got tonight to getting through innings without allowing damage.
Strike 1 is called on the outside corner to Hayden White. 4 straight strikes by Barrett Herr. 6 strikeouts on the night. He is battling to try to keep Richardson in this.
And I think Herr's pitched a good ball game. He's
Ball
hurt him.
one.
He's hurt himself, especially with wild pitches.
Wild pitches, yep.
The defense has hurt him a touch. But, at the end of the day, it's 2 clutch RBI singles for this Colts team is the difference right now, and 4 wild pitches, 5 wild pitches.
Ball 2 on the inside track to the righty hitter, Hayden White. 9-spot hitter in the lineup, back to the top with Bustamante waiting on deck. That one way inside. Does not clip his jersey, though.
It almost looked like he's mad at himself for not letting it get a piece of him.
Gets away, and it's a 3-1 count now to the 9-hole hitter. And a strike is going to be called on the upper away part of the zone. White steps out of the batter's box in disagreement and dismay as he now has to dig back in for a payoff pitch.
That's a rough strike call. That was probably the worst one of the night.
Payoff pitch. Inside, too far inside, and that's ball 4. A man aboard to the top of the order. Hayden White finding his way aboard.
Bustamante been on base a couple of times already today. Singled and scored in the 3rd. Was intentionally walked in the 4th. They wanted no part of him with a runner on 3rd base.
They will pitch to him here. Second baseman Max Hayes playing at double play depth, but the shortstop, Neiman, is trying to cover in case Bustamante pulls it to the left-hand side. Strike one is called on the outside corner. Looking, it's 0-1.
Bustamante pulled one through that hole earlier in the game, so it makes sense why they shade that way, but might cost himself a double play.
A lot of space up the middle. He'll foul this one straight down and then behind, and he finds himself behind 0-2.
Bustamante hit a whopping .370 this season. Has pitched a dandy thus far, trying to give his team a little extra insurance.
This one's going to get away, and here goes Hayden White. Headed for second. He's in, standing up on the wild pitch.
Cage needs to be careful, Zach, because he just fires it regardless. And he might get himself in trouble with the no-look throw to second base he keeps tossing over there.
They're going to continue throwing to him with first base unoccupied. I thought maybe they would issue Bustamante the free pass again.
Now ahead with 2 strikes to try and put him away.
He'll foul this one off and keep the at-bat alive. Yeah, you would definitely like that 7th strikeout, but I think you would like even less what he would be doing, as the shortstop Neiman is now playing shallow left field about 15 feet behind the third baseman, Jake Hayes, who's playing in the coffin corner. There is about 70 feet of distance between short and second if Bustamante can place this right. The 1-2. Fouled off again, and he keeps the at-bat alive. This has to be one of the most deliberate shifts I have seen in some time, Tim.
Yeah, this is something else. Because I got to wonder, too, Zach, at the end of the day, does Neiman even have, if he fields it over there, does he have the arm to get Bustamante running?
We'll have to wait and see.
Because Bustamante's not slow.
A 1-2 again, and another foul. Bustamante keeping the at-bat alive. Just a matter of squaring up on it before he gets the opportunity to potentially put this in play. Another thing worth noting, the second baseman, Max Hayes, is trying to keep the runner honest up the middle. There's a pretty decent gap between first and second also. And this one's going to be a chopper foul, fielded on the hop by Coach Womack. You know, Tim, in yesterday's game, Pops gave him a quote-unquote error on a ball that went his direction, and he said he took offense to that, wanted me to pass the word along to Pops. He's like, that was a hot shot, and I didn't have a glove. But
soft hands, Coach, soft hands.
Maybe. Makes the play on foul territory there. 1-2. Swing and a miss, but it's going to carry him back to the pitcher, and the throw is going to be wide. Here comes Hayden White as that one goes all the way to shallow right field. Bustamante's rounding second. He's headed for third. The slide, the tag, not in time.
You ever seen a 3-base strikeout before?
I don't think I have. A wide throw by the first baseman. Correction. The pitcher, Barrett Herr, sent that one way past first baseman Attell.
The whole play was outrageous. The pitch hit the backstop, caromed over the catcher's head to where the pitcher had to make the attempt after strike 3, swinging, unable to corral the ball. And I've never seen the pitcher have to try and finish the strikeout off before like that. Have you?
A drop third strike, E1 plus for Bustamante, and that play will signal a pitching change here in this one. That sign from head coach Mike Tovar is the sign of a pitching change. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. We'll be back with the new pitcher right after this. Zach Arnold Productions is proud to service the greater Arlington and DFW area. With experience in broadcasting, podcasting, web series, public address, marketing, and public relations, Zap can help you tackle any modern communications task. Whether you need an announcer for your sporting event or just need help proofing a press release, Be sure to call 817-319-2402 to see how you can find energetic media solutions for your task with Zach Arnold Productions. We continue to marvel at the play that chased Barrett Herr off of the mound. We mentioned earlier in the ballgame that there's only about 7 or 8 feet, if that, behind the umpire outside of this home plate circle here at the Eagles Nest. There's padding back there in front of the brick wall. It was a drop third strike with first base unoccupied, and it caromed off of the wall, past the catcher, halfway between home plate and the mound, to where Barrett Herr had to grab it himself and try to make the throw that would retire Bustamante. Instead, it went wide, and Attell had to go into the right field coffin corner in order to retrieve the ball. Hayden White came all the way around to score to make it 4-0, and Bustamante was able to charge all the way to third base. A drop third strike triple, if you will.
3-base strikeout.
Just crazy.
Now an RBI opportunity for Hensley.
Hensley will be facing number 16, Shaden Sherm-Mulman, who comes in relief after 5 1/3 innings pitched from Barrett Herr, 7 strikeouts, but he did have a couple of errors, total of 3 at the expense of the Eagles as the infield is playing on the lip of the grass. Ball 1 from Sherm-Mulman with 1 out.
Woolman does not have the same level of velocity that Herr had. Sits at the 80-mile-per-hour range with that fastball, so wonder if the Colts maybe take advantage of the softer tossing righty.
If anybody could, it would be Mason Hensley.
Again, that short porch in left field, just 285 right and left.
Off speed, that's ball 2.
That one came out of the hand funky at only 65 miles an hour.
Murphy, a courtesy runner for Bustamante, as Hensley chips that one into the glove for a strike.
Just 79 on that heater. Seemed like Hensley was way out in front. That hit him in the head.
That one bonks off of his helmet, and that's why you wear it. A hit by pitch of Hensley will put him aboard the hard way.
Yeah, we saw Mulman struggle with the grip on a couple different pitches there. I think no intent behind that. He's struggling to grip the baseball. It's a little moist out tonight. Still right now rubbing the ball on his leg, trying to get a good grip.
2 on and just 1 out for London Prater, who has gotten a couple of singles today and scored a run. Hensley's headed for second, and the throw is wide. Now the runner, Murphy's coming home, and he'll make it in. Stolen base and another run. And the Colts are up 5-0. The error leads to a run. And Hensley with a clean steal after the wide throw from Cole Cage.
And Zach, I don't know, you could feel the scale starting to tip pretty heavily in this Colts' favor now in this ball game. It's 5-0. Still just 1 out in the inning, and you're going to the heart of this Colts lineup. Do they have 5 more runs in this inning left in them to get Bustamante out there for 3 more outs?
There's only 1 out right now here in the top of the 6th. Sherm-Mulman with a little less velocity. Can Prater time it? He tries to right there, and he'll foul it into home plate off of the catcher's mask.
He was way out in front that time.
And that's a timing thing. You're facing a new pitcher. You have to time your swings accordingly. Home plate umpire comes all the way out to the mound to personally hand the new ball to Sherm Mulman.
That's the courtesy after a batter fouls one off his leg like that. Just give him a few extra moments to regain your composure a little bit.
You don't call timeouts like you do in football in order to catch your breath. You have moments like that, moments of gamesmanship. The 1-2 to Prater. Swung on and missed. He was going for the big hack and could not connect on the off speed, and there's 2 away now for Matthew Wynn.
Yeah, he extended the zone big time. That ball was eye level.
Looked slow, big, and juicy. And Shaden Sherm Mulman with 2 outs now, and Hensley still in scoring position.
Wynn's put some good swings on the baseball today.
And that curveball just loops and slowly comes in for a called strike 1.
He's got a single, a walk, lined out to center field last time up, but that ball was the one he hit the best. He just unfortunately hit it on the line right at the center fielder, Barraza.
The 0-1 is a bouncer that Cole Cage is able to corral. No wild pitch here, no advancement of the runner. Just a ball and a strike to Matthew Wynn. Next pitch, tipped for strike number 2. Just a tiny little piece of it on that offering. One and 2 now. A sigh, a turn at second, and the pitch home. Just a bit outside. Ball 2.
I think the Colts players are taking this difference in velo as a chance to swing big, and I don't think that's what they should have been doing, just putting good swings on the baseball, having the same approach they had with her. Instead, everyone's going up there trying to hit homers now.
2 and 2. And that one's going to get him in the square of the back. Hit by pitch will put Wynn aboard with 2 outs.
Second HBP of the inning.
And Matthew Wynn has found his way aboard 3 different ways tonight. A single, a walk, and now an HBP. Abe Alvarado digging into the batter's box now to see what he can do with 2 outs. Low and away for ball number 1.
Alvarado had the big RBI single to get things going in the 3rd inning. He was in the batter's box for a pass, but wild pitch, and then drove in a run, responsible for the first 2 runs of the game.
He'll take a look at a called strike here to even the count at 1-1. Hensley at second, Wynn at first. Colts have plated 2 more runs here in the top of the 6th inning. Mulman gets a swing and a miss, and now the runner is caught. It's going to carry him off of the first baseman into right field, and both runners will advance.
That was the play to get you out of the inning. They threw behind Wynn. He was caught dead to rights, but the first baseman didn't look it into his glove, and that's going to be an E3.
By our count, the 4th error committed by the Eagles. Only 2 showing on that scoreboard. Alvarado will put this in play, and then it will go too far foul. The barehanded grab by Coach Womack. He's made a couple of plays for himself on that third baseline.
Redeeming himself after the
EC.
Yeah, the EC. E10.
There you go. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Alvarado. 2 men in scoring position. Mulman comes home. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says the umpire. And that will eliminate the threat. But the Colts do plate a couple more here in the 6th inning to pad the lead as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. High school baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be back right after this.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0393 or email orders@locallegendsfigures.com. PDA Advocacy Group supports CCMR, college, career, military readiness, a set of educational standards designed to help students be better prepared for post-high school life. If college-bound, take entrance tests, dual credit courses, earn a 2-year degree prior to graduation. If you're going to a career, take classes that will result in industry certification, mechanic, computers, welding, etc. The options are vast. Military? Enlist in the armed forces as a career. CCMR, driving towards success in life. Game 2 of the by-district round at the home of the Richardson Eagles. The other side of the bracket features the Hebron Hawks and the Allen Eagles. Winner of this game gets the winner of that series. Right now, it looks like Arlington is about 2 innings away from making it to their second area round in 3 seasons. And coincidentally enough, it was the Allen Eagles that Arlington faced in that series as well. Neiman will be leading things off for the Richardson Eagles here. As we get ready to go to the bottom of the 6th inning, we'll be playing the full 7 here, one way or the other. Bustamante back out for another inning of work. So far, only 1 base hit allowed. Sharply hit up the middle. Hensley fires to win in time for 1 pitch, 1 out. To take us back to the top of the order for the Ozman. Neiman retired on the 6-3. And Abs 0 for 2 on the day, a ground out and a double play. Abs swings and misses at this first pitch for strike 1. And it's quickly strike number 2. Oh, apparently I already clicked that by accident. My apologies. It's now 0-2. I was being gifted the gift of foresight. That's what it was. And that is a called strike 3 on the corner. Abs caught looking, and there's very quickly 2 away. That'll take us to Barasa. Four pitches, 2 outs for Bustamante. This one to Barasa is too low. That's ball 1. Fouling this one away to even the count is 1 ball, 1 strike now. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs to the center fielder who's made some good plays out there in center field. Bustamante delivers home. 82-mile-an-hour slider too low for ball 1. And that one catches the outside corner, strike number 2. 7 strikeouts on the night for Bustamante.
looking for number 8 here. He won't get it, as this one is just the second base hit of the ball game. Barasa with an excuse me single to center field to put a runner aboard with 2 outs.
Now batting number 9, Cole Cage.
That'll take us to Cole Cage, 0 for 2 on the evening. First pitch swinging, and it'll get fouled out of play. 0-1 to Cage. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. A new ball comes into Bustamante finally. He'll come set, pitching out of the stretch, and delivers a ball too far outside to the lefty hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th inning. And he'll check down over to first and chase the runner back. Barasa back in time. This one's in play. Hayden White will make the soft underhand toss to Hensley as he was going that direction. And the 4-6 fielder's choice will end the inning. We're headed to the 7th. Arlington leads by 5. This is playoff high school baseball on Zach Arnold Productions, and it's presented by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Local Legends Figures immortalizes your athlete's achievements for a lifetime. Featuring 6-inch figures with poses in football, baseball, band, hockey, even lacrosse. Local Legends makes every effort to show their likeness down to every possible uniform detail. To order your custom figure, call 817-681-0393 or email orders@locallegendsfigures.com. A-frames that bring their A game. The next time you need to get your brand out to the community, go with the printers who are in your community, Eka Signs. With everything from wall signs to banners, printed tees to hats, Eka can even do same-day rush orders on select products. Visit ekasigns.com/shop to see their full list. That's ikasigns.com/shop. Eka Signs, a partner of Zach Arnold Productions.
John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades, and they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com. To the 7th inning we go here at Richardson High School. Alongside Tim Costello, who had to step away for a moment, I'm Zach Arnold, bringing you this by-district playoff competition. Looks as if the Bowie Volunteers are an inning away from their season ending. Arlington's season is an inning away from moving on to the area round versus either Allen or Hebron. And Zach Arnold Productions will be on the call for those games as well. And the duration of Arlington's postseason run. After a convincing 19-3 win because of several errors that were committed by the Eagles, Arlington taking advantage of similar mistakes here tonight. 7 errors committed in last night's game, 4 committed tonight by our tally. 3 runs on a wild pitch last night, at least 1 run on a wild pitch, the first run of the game, as Alvarado belts this one to center field. Barasa on his horse, and he'll make the grab on the F8 for out number 1. First pitch swinging for Alvarado. Saw something that he liked on the new pitcher, Sherm Molman. Unfortunately, Barraza nearly as much of a lockdown defender as Gannon Howard is for the Colts. First pitch to Jeremiah Taylor is low for ball one. It'll be a 1-0 count to him as he steps out of the batter's box as the umpire retrieves that loose ball. Sherm Molman taking his time. And a ball will be issued to Jeremiah Taylor here, second batter of the inning. Two and 0 is now 2-1 on that strike call to JT.
Taylor had the big knock to drive in a run in the 5th inning, ended up starting the rundown.
And a strike will be called on the low and away corner there. 2-2 now.
Ooh,
almost
that's a tough take.
Almost the same pitch, but a different call this time as the count runs full, 3-2. Payoff pitch now, fouled away. He'll stay 3-2. New ball comes in. Merman comes set. Another payoff pitch to JT. Low and away, ball 4. And he'll draw the walk.
Just an exceptional young ball player. Austin College is getting themselves a stud next season. Plate, vision, discipline, a true coach on the field at times, Zach.
Looks like we're going to get a pinch hitter coming in for Gannon Howard. This is number 14, Yadir Gamez. Coming in the 8th spot for Gannon Howard. JT running for himself with 1 out. Being covered there by Attell. Low and inside for ball 1 to Gamez.
I wonder if this is a situation with a re-entry after this at bat, just getting a young guy a swing here.
I would believe so. I haven't seen coach substitute Gannon out of center field that often. Strike 1 is called, and it's a ball and a strike now to him. Aces running wild on the scoreboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
Are we final with the Bowie game yet, Zach?
We are very nearly there. JT is off and running, and that is going to head to shallow center field. Barraza's covering, so it'll just be a steal on ball 2 at the plate for Jeremiah Taylor. They're still running commercials over there at Gopher Park, but safe to say that one is pretty well in hand for the co-district champion Jesuit Rangers. That next pitch is too high to Gamez, and he has worked himself to 3 balls now. Hayden White taking swings in the on-deck circle. He could potentially get pinch hit for as well. The 3-1. Called strike, and the count runs full.
Got to get in there and swing the stick. The Colts have done a great job of putting the ball in play. Want to see the pinch hitter do the same.
Payoff pitch on the way. And that's ball 4. Gomez finds his way aboard on the pinch hit.
What just happened? Oh, they said that was actually a called strike. That's a delayed.
Oh, wow. That's a very
delayed call strike 3. That's the second time this umpire has, and you can't look at the player like it was his fault. You took forever to make that call. If you have to think about it, that's okay, but don't look at the player like he showed you up.
First pitch to Hayden White is a called strike 1 with 2 outs, and Jeremiah Taylor in scoring position now.
Colts 3 defensive outs away from advancing to the second round.
Curveball too far inside for a 1-1 count now.
Actually, it was a pretty good pitch. I think Hayden White got away with it because he spun out of there so early. But if that one had been called a strike, I think it would have been an acceptable call.
Jeremiah Taylor's off and running, and he will slide in with a clean steal. Ball 2 at the plate, not even a throw down that line.
Yeah, that's why I actually got that one as a fielder's indifference. The run doesn't mean much at this point in the game. We'll see how they score it officially. Maybe Taylor gets a bonus in his contract for Steve. I'm just kidding. There's no contracts.
With NIL, don't joke about it anymore.
That sweet and juicy NIL money that Austin College has to offer.
I'm sure. That's ball 3.
They got a big bucket to choose from as they pass out Buckaroo Bucks, or I think they're the Kangaroos, right?
Kangaroo.
Yeah, some Roo Bucks. That's my NIL fund is some extra.
It's an extra dinner at the commissary.
Yeah.
3-1 at the plate. Next pitch. And again, a strike will be called, and again, a delayed response will prompt Hayden White to grab his bat as he thought it was a ball.
Coach Womack not happy with his players for tossing the bat before even hearing the call.
It's a 3-2 count, payoff pitch. And a called strike 3 will leave Jeremiah Taylor stranded where he is. Twice over.
Coach Womack is not happy with the zone.
Twice over, there were instances where they thought it was a walk.
I mean, the zone hasn't been good. I think you and I could both agree the zone's not been good. But, hey, you're up 5-0 and you're 3 outs away from putting this thing away. Go take care of it. Don't get thrown out of the game.
The last 3 outs of the bi-district round are potentially coming up right after the break. Stick around. This is High School Baseball on Zap, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Pools in Texas need servicing all year long. At Rami Pools, LLC, we provide quality pool services such as cleaning, maintenance, and repairs. So call 469-951-0107 for a free estimate and ask for Roberto. Rami Pools, LLC. We're going to make you fall in love with your pool again. Hablamos español.
If you're a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage, or perhaps just navigating the complexities of Medicare, look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent agency with over 50 years of experience, specializing in tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need property, liability, commercial auto, or even life and health insurance, their agents can help you feel secure in selecting the insurance you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott today at 817-265-3346.
New pitcher on the mound during the break, which is the sign of a change. The next time you need signs, banners, printed shirts, or other print materials, Ika Signs is the local printer to call. 817-617-2229 is the number, and tell them Zap sent you. It's the young man with a 0.00 ERA, all of them in relief appearances. The designated closer for Arlington coming in to get the final 3 outs. It's the senior number 10, Mason Hensley. Hensley now coming in as Bustamante will shift to shortstop. Just a straight switch defensively. And you know, Bustamante had a gem of a game. 7 strikeouts in 6 innings, only 2 base hits allowed. Don't wear out the arm when you've got a man with a 0 ERA. that can come in and finish the job for you.
Yeah, 6 total base runners, 2 hits, 3 walks, and 1 hit by a pitch. You mentioned the K's. I didn't think he had his very best stuff tonight, but he competed. He attacked the zone, and he did what he needed to do, and he let his defense make plays behind him. Great start in a big moment from Bustamante. And as you said, kick the ball to the closer. You got 3 more outs to get. You're facing 4, 5, 6 in the lineup. Go get him right here, young man.
Hensley will be facing Barrett Herr, batting for himself. First pitch swinging will be fouled back for strike number 1.
Herr 0 for 2 today, a couple of Ks, 1 each way. Hensley can reach the 90s with that heater. That one was 88 miles an hour. I've seen him at 91 this season.
This one will get fouled away as well, and he's ahead in the count 0-2.
Hensley attacks the zone. Zach, he likes to go right after hitters. Does not shy away from the strike zone. Doesn't nibble.
Taylor sets up outside. Hensley delivers just there, and Hurd lays off of it for ball 1.
As I say that, he tries to nibble.
It's a 1-2 now. Tries to sail that one across the zone. Looked like possibly a slider.
Looked like the slider. Maybe tried to back foot it and just didn't extend properly. Then you have a 5-run lead. 3 outs away from moving on to the second round.
The 2-2 in play, and that one is lofted. That's trouble, and that's gone.
That was tattooed.
Herr got all of that one, and it doesn't matter how much ground you cover out there in center field. If you're Gannon Howard, you can't climb that wall. Richardson avoids the shutout as Herr clears the bases, rounding them to make it 5-1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Oh my goodness, that ball to the deepest part of the ballpark, Zach, the highest part of the fence, and it was a no-doubter the whole way.
The very first earned run issued by Mason Hensley all season.
Now batting, our senior, number 3, Max Hayes.
And Max Hayes will dig into the batter's box as Hensley asks for a different ball than the one that was issued to him. Righty on righty matchup as JT sets up on the inside. It'll tail away for ball 1.
Would love to get a tail of the tape on that one. I don't think we're going to get it, but that probably flew 380, 400 feet.
It was still going past the flags that are out there in center field as ball 2 is issued low as well.
You know, you texted me earlier today, hey, here's where to park. I think that's a good spot. I pulled in. I was like, I don't know.
Fastball swung and missed for strike 1. Yeah, I wasn't parked right up against the fence.
I gave some room.
I gave it about 8 to 10 spaces of clearance, but I didn't know there was a parking lot just over here to our left as strike 2 is called. I saw some Colt fans parking in what looked like maybe an event center or a church or something like that. So there's a little bit of options, but being confined to this neighborhood environment does present its problems. Swing and a miss by Hayes as Hensley recovers for out number 1. It's a strikeout.
I will say, Zach, those who are street parking on the street to our left here, I think those people are crazy. That is foul ball territory. That is asking to have to call Chapman Cornelius Insurance and put in a claim, right? Like
absolutely.
That's a new win. That's begging for a new windshield.
First pitch to Jake Hayes is low for ball 1. Hensley attacking that lower quadrant of the strike zone, having trouble elevating enough to get the strike calls he's looking for. That time he gets it, and it's 1-1.
As you mentioned, trying to save Bustamonte's arm as this team looks to advance.
Check swing, doesn't matter. Strike 2 is called.
Hensley coming in, attacking the Eagles hitters. He got ahead in the count on Barrett Hurd, just didn't put him away.
It's a 1-2 count. Hayes takes a look at ball 2 away. Jake Hayes with a strikeout, a walk, and was caught stealing. And that one will bounce as the slider is released too late. Full count now. Countdown on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3, 2, 1.
If you strike out both twins in the same inning, is it still considered a twin killing? Or is that just for a double play? Now we'll have to know.
We're going to have to ask as Hayes swings and misses. Second strikeout. And the Eagles are down to their final out of the season. Luckily for them, Kason Cage, the designated hitter, is the only person who has reached safely in both of his past plate appearances, a double to left center and a walk. But this is his first time facing Hensley. Check swing, off speed, drops in for strike 1.
That was a knee-buckling slider. Cage was geared up for that big-time heater, and instead he got the sweeper.
The 0-1 delivery. Swung on and missed. 88 miles per hour blew it by him. And Richardson's down to their last strike of the year.
That was on the inner third, too. That pitch was nasty.
Hensley agrees on the pitch. Sets and fires. Cannot get the call. Ball 1.
I like the call from Taylor, though. It was a slider low and in the dirt. Similar release point from that one that was just on the inside portion.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, and that's the ball game. Celebration ensues up the third baseline as Arlington is moving to the area round for the second time in 3 years. Final score in this one, the Colts 5, the Eagles 1.
Hensley strikes out the side after giving up the homer to put his Colts into the next round. Oh my goodness, what a performance from Bustamante tonight. What a great job defensively by this Colts team. Not an error made, and Jeremiah Taylor was phenomenal behind the plate tonight. Called an unbelievable game and flashed some leather, threw out a would-be base runner. Great job tonight defensively for your Arlington Colts.
The postgame show presented by John Wade Roofing is coming up right after this. You're not going to want to miss it. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com. The PA announcer at the nest giving thanks and congratulations to the seniors here at Richardson. And Tim, I think it was Arlington's seniors that were pacing them in this ball game. You were talking about the senior Jeremiah Taylor. You were also looking at some great senior contributions from players like London Prater, and then a couple of juniors, some upperclassmen like Danny Bustamante and Abe Alvarado with some big contributions. But Hensley, the senior, coming in and shutting them down in that 7th inning to push Arlington into the area round against either Allen or Hebron. A big win for this district champ baseball team.
Yeah, this was a great game to call. It was a well-fought win for Arlington, right? You played great defense. You made the plays you had to make, and you made the ones you weren't even expected to make at times. You pitched it well. Your hitting was timely. You hit with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Those are the things that you have to do if you want to be a winning ball club. As the trophy comes out and the team's all celebrating together right now. What a great moment. What a great game. But hey, already at this point, Zach, it's on to next week. This is a good win. It's exciting. You'd mentioned that the team had run into the buzzsaw that is Jesuit so much in the past, but now that didn't happen this year. And you got a chance to go make yourself a run. Enjoy this one, savor it tonight, but tomorrow morning you start getting ready for either Hebron or Allen, and I hope Allen loses in everything that they do, but let's see what happens.
The Hawks did steal game 1 last night at Allen, so they're playing at the Hawks Nest tonight, and we'll try to keep you all apprised of that one as best we can. Tried to look for the score earlier, couldn't find it, but follow Zach the Voice, Z-A-C-H the Voice, on social media to find out exactly who the next round opponent is. In my opinion, Tim, player of the game has to go to Danny Bustamante. He got 2 singles, went 6 strong with 7 strikeouts. He did it on the mound and at the plate, which is exactly what we talked about during the pregame show.
Yeah, he was the tone setter. We talked about in the pregame show, he's leading off the game and offensively, and he's got the guy on the mound defensively. He set the tone. He was on base 3 times. He scored 2 runs. On the mound, he set the tone. He allowed only 2 base hits. He struck out 6 or 7. He did everything he needed to do. He limited the damage. Anytime there was a hint or a whiff of a rally, he got a double play, or he found a way to get out of it. This guy never let Richardson feel like they had a chance to me. The moment 2 runs were scored, it felt like this game was over.
Yep. All of those other ones were just insurance runs. It could have been just those 2, and Arlington wins 2-1, but instead, final score here being 5-1, eliminating Richardson, and Arlington is moving on to round number 2. Special thanks to our friends at John Wade Roofing for presenting the post-game show, being our title partners, our Camera 2 partners, and just about everything else that we need here on the Zap Network. Some fun facts about John Sr. He played for Arlington High and was the team MVP in 1976. He also played for TCU and UTA football, earning all conference and conference champion honors. And after a stint with the Houston Oilers, he started roofing in 1982 and never looked back. His legacy on the gridiron is now matched by the legacy that the company has built in the community for over 40 years. The next time you have roofing needs, gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more at 817-265-5520. The team is taking a picture with their new hardware, and we will take a snapshot of this moment as we get ready to call it a night. It's official from Gopher Park. Jesuit has eliminated the Bowie Volunteers from the postseason, but a great run ending their playoff drought for Bowie this season. Congratulations to the Volunteers. Thanks to Pops and Jot for calling that game. Tim, thank you to you for helping out this season. With Arlington moving on in the postseason, we're going to be probably condensing our staff moving forward. Won't need quite as much manpower as we have this season.
Back to the OGs, you and Pops taking it home.
Back to me and Pops for the duration of Arlington's run. So before,
and I just wanted to take a moment too before we thank you to the fans for allowing me to be a part of your football and your baseball lives this season. I was so blessed to be a part of the Zap Network this year for both, as I said, football for Bowie, for Arlington, for Sam Houston, for baseball for Bowie and for Arlington. So thankful that you've allowed me into your living rooms, onto your cell phones, into your tablets, and just let me be a part of this season. Was so happy to be here and so thankful for the opportunity to be a part of this season for all the fans.
I know you're doing it just to kind of get back into the repetitions and to have an experience that your kids can look back on, that you can look back on. I know it takes you away from your kids, so I'm going to try to get you out of here as quick as possible.
For love of the game, Zach.
The love of the game, and that's exactly why we do it. That's why they do it, and hopefully that's why you tune in as well. Thank you for supporting local broadcasters like Tim and I by tuning in tonight, and for supporting local businesses by listening to the commercials. That's going to do it for us here in Richardson. Final score again, Arlington 5, the Eagles 1. For everybody at the Zap Network, I'm Zach Arnold, thanking you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time when Arlington plays in the area round next week. Until then, have a great night and a great weekend.